April 5th, 2009, opening night here at Citizens Bank Park. What a celebration, not only for the players, but also for the fans that were here to see the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. A whole lot of dancing in the stairway, and then the raising of the World Championship banner for the Phillies. Charlie Manuel pulling it up to the sky, and the Phillies at that point had set their sights on repeating the championship. Well, Stage one is complete because as the Phillies finish up the 2009 season, 162 games later, they have their sights set on another postseason appearance. Today against the Florida Marlins in the final game of the year. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Gary Matthews. Chris Wheeler will be here as well. Well, the Phillies have had some magical moments this entire year here at Citizens Bank Park. Not only all the sellouts that they've had, but also what was going on the field. And one of the guys that provided a lot of magical moments, he's had a great year, is Ryan Howard.
Yeah, great year and the last great month there. Player of the month in August. This guy continues to show why he's one of the best hitters in the game. Take a look at the highlights yesterday as he hits his 45th home run, jumping in the Cadillac. When he's hitting, no one else on the club has to hit. And you take a look there at the graphics, going to tell you how many games he's played so far this year. He's second. Look at the home runs, RBIs. It's just unbelievable. Respectable average there at 279. And I got to tell you, almost an MVP year if you're not talking about Albert Pujols. But this guy has certainly been the mainstay of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Well, the other thing, too, Sarge, is that he's hitting so well with runners in scoring position these last couple of months. He has been mashing the baseball. Now, Ryan Howard is not playing today, but maybe he'll make a curtain call at some point today against the Marlins. Well, this is the final day of the regular season, and this is usually the time that we say thank you to you, the fans, not only for what you did off the field, but also what you were able to do in the stands this year, through the turnstiles, but also with the leather. It's time now for the top plays from the fans here in 2009. It was a year that even Steve and Emily Monforto became celebrities here at Citizens Bank Park. This afternoon, the Phillies wrap up the season. Josh Johnson for the Marlins, Jay Happ for the Phillies. The lineups are next. Jimmy Rollins, Raul Ibanez, Ryan Howard, Pedro Feliz. They're all in the Phillies dugout. But guess what? They have today off, at least to start, as the Phillies know what their seed is in this year's postseason. So Charlie Manuel has a very different lineup today. Meanwhile, Freddie Gonzalez, well, he has somewhat of a different lineup because of injuries. Leading it off in left field, Chris Coghlan. Cameron Maybin, the center fielder, bats second, followed by Nick Johnson. Wes Helms is the cleanup batter at third. Dan Uggla starts at second base, hitting fifth. Ronnie Paulino, the catcher, bats sixth. Brett Carroll, Emilio Bonifacio, and Josh Johnson wind down the bottom third of the Florida Marlins lineup. The Marlins have taken the first two games of the series, and there is left-hander Jay Happ going after his 13th win of the season. This will be his 23rd start. He has had an outstanding rookie year, and the ballots are due by tomorrow for the Rookie of the Year, and we'll see if Jay's name is on the top of that ballot.
Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report. Tom just mentioned Rookie of the Year. Well, he could be the Rookie of the Year. The guy he's going to face right now, Chris Coghlan, may be his biggest challenger. Change-up, slider. He's pitched well, and it's down to, is he going to start? Is he going to relieve? Who knows?
On a bright, sunshiny afternoon, the final game of the regular season is underway, and the count is no balls and one strike to Coghlan.
Yeah, the Phillies have a heck of a bench today, as you pointed out. Charlie might get some of them in as a pinch hitter. He just, before the game today, he just wasn't sure what he was going to do. He knew he wasn't going to play a lot of guys.
Coghlan shows bunt, and it's strike two, so no balls and two strikes. Charlie's team comes into today's ball game with a 92-69 record. And even though guys like Shane Victorino and Chase Utley, who you saw a moment ago, not in the starting lineup, they could get a chance to take some hacks at some point.
Yeah, he may pinch, like we say, he may pinch hit some guys today and stuff like that. But for the most part, a lot of them are just going to watch.
1-2 the count to Coghlan, the league's fifth best hitter. And he slaps one toward third. Nice play by Dobbs behind the bag, and he won't get him. That was a good play by Greg Dobbs. It at least kept it a single instead of a double. And Coghlan, well, he is aboard with a leadoff single here in the first.
And he just keeps hitting. That guy has had an unbelievable couple months. Even Pedro Feliz probably would have had trouble throwing him out. Feliz throws a lot better than Greg Dobbs, but Greg, as Tom said, made a really nice play there to prevent that from being a double.
That base hit, by the way, for Coghlan was the 111th for him since the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And that is the most in the majors. I mean, forget about rookies. It's the most in the major leagues. So that'll bring Cameron Maybin to the plate. Maybin hitting .251 with 4 homers and 13 runs batted in. Maybin's had himself a good week in this final week of the regular season.
These two players, Coghlan, Maybin, give them some hope for next year. The Marlins have a good team, but they have a lot of trouble hanging on to their players because of their financial problems, which could help be rectified a little bit with the new ballpark they're building. There's Coghlan on the left, Maybin on the right. Maybin is a guy with just tremendous talent. It's just a matter of whether the light comes on or not. And boy, he's been good in this series.
And he lines one toward left field. Stairs going over. He's not going to get it. One hop off the wall. Coghlan's heading to third. Stairs' throw goes to second. And Maybin is in sliding. And the Marlins, just as they've done the first two games of the series, have come out of the chute swinging. And they've got runners on second and third.
Time now for our Key State Chrysler Jeep Keys to this afternoon's game. It's really pretty here today. Just a gorgeous final regular season afternoon. One more day of getting ready for the postseason, and could see more auditions today. It's been kind of a strange few days around here since the Phillies clinched, and they've been walking kind of a tightrope of what they want to do, whether they want to play guys, whether they want to rest them. The intensity hasn't been here, and they just want to try and get ready for postseason.
And there's that bullpen, which has a lot of questions about it going into this postseason. Who it is that's going to make up the bullpen for the postseason. Nick Johnson, the batter. Johnson's been battling some hamstring problems, but Jorge Cantu, who would also be over at first base while there's a left-hander on the mound, he turned his ankle yesterday, so he's done for the rest of this afternoon. There's a strike, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, your tendency to say he's done for the season,
or he's done for the rest of that,
or he's done for a couple weeks. But for most teams in Major League Baseball, This is it. And the Phillies used to be one of those teams for a lot of years where you used to have this huge fan appreciation day, and not anymore. They keep playing, which is great.
Opposite way. It might be deep enough to get the run home. Stairs is under it. His throw will come to third to keep Maybin at second base. Good throw by Stairs. Crossing the plate is Coghlan, and the Marlins have a 1-0 lead. So a sacrifice fly for Johnson, his 62nd RBI of the year. The Marlins have scored runs in the first innings of the 3 ball games this weekend against the Phillies. So now with a runner on second, it'll bring Wes Helms to the plate. Helms hitting .271 with 3 home runs and 31 RBIs. He has split his time this year, being one of the main pinch hit threats for the Marlins and playing some games at third. This is his 35th start at third base. And the first pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Wes Helms played 1 year here in Philadelphia, and it wasn't a very good year. And the fans have let him know about it every time he comes back in a Marlins uniform.
Didn't go real well.
Nope. Towards shallow right center field, backing up is Cairo. I don't think he sees it. Now he does, and he makes the catch.
That's what he did a lot of, was hit balls the other way. They really thought he'd hit 15, 20, 25 home runs, especially playing here in this ballpark. But Wes really never got on track that year.
So Happ has 2 outs now in the top of the first. And it'll bring Dan Uggla to the plate. Jay Happ comes into today's ball game with the top ERA among rookies, but his earned run average, which has gone up now because he allowed a run, to 2.90, is also among the top 10 in the National League overall. So I think that says a lot about what he has done this season. He is 6th in the majors, or excuse me, 6th in the National League in earned run average. And you see he's 2nd in winning percentage in the league. And so everybody that says that Chris Coghlan is running away with the Rookie of the Year race now because he's had such a good second half, because he's among the league leaders in batting average, well, if you look at batting average being somewhat of the equivalent of the ERA, then Happ is right there neck and neck with him.
Yeah, we've never been asked to vote for this stuff, so I really don't know how much thought goes into it, whether people go what you're doing right now, analyze it, go back and forth, or whether you think, well, I'm an everyday player kind of guy,
right,
or I'm a pitcher kind of guy. There's just so many variables involved, and that's one of the unfortunate things about awards. But I don't know what the solution is. How else do you do it?
2-0 the count to Uggla, and that's outside. 3-0.
Somebody just sit down and go, who is it? Who fills it out, sends it? There has to be some of that too. And then the people like you just did, Tom, and really go over it and analyze it. They're both worthy.
Ball 4, and Uggla is aboard. Runners on first and second. First walk issued by Happ. Almost looked like he was kind of pitching around Dan Uggla in that spot.
He was, and I think that's what Baco and he talked about when Paul went out there. Was, Paulino's on deck, who has hurt the Phillies and not that many other teams, but they'd rather pitch to him here. Even though this is a meaningless game, you still have to bear down, concentrate, and do what you would do in game situations. Keep your mind that way.
So Ronnie Paulino takes a pitch high. It's 1-0. Ronnie Paulino overall hitting .269 this year, 8 homers and 26 runs batted in. He's had a very good second half for the Marlins. It's getting to the point where you don't have to just take his numbers out against the Phillies and marvel at how low his batting average is, because he's starting to pick up hits against everybody else too. And that's upstairs, 2-0. This is a very un-Jay Happ-like first inning where he's thrown 10 balls out of the strike zone. Good off-speed pitch, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. See Paulino, 241 before the break, 307 since the break. Same home run total in less games. Breaks his bat, and there's an extra base hit. Rolls down the left field line. It's going to kick off that half wall. Maven's going to score easily from second base. Ugla goes to third, and it's 2-0 Marlins.
Well, not much you can do about that if you're a pitcher. Made a good pitch on him. Bat breaks in half. It's about a foot fair. You see the barrel flying down the line, the ball maybe even 6 inches fair when you see that replay. And Maven, no problem scoring, and Ugla has to stop at third.
So Paulino on second with his 10th double of the year. And it'll bring Brett Carroll to the plate. Carroll hitting .243, 3 home runs and 18 runs batted in. One ball, one strike the count. We're mentioning the Rookie of the Year balloting. The way it works is that 2 writers from each National League city vote for the Rookie of the Year. And you have to vote for at least 3 players. And if you give, let's say, Jay Happ a first place vote, he gets 5 points. And then the point total goes down from there. And then the votes are tabulated. So, you know, there's 16 National League teams.
Yeah, and you can conceivably have a writer that ain't put him on the first 3.
That's true.
That happens all the time. Stuff like unless somebody's just having such an unbelievable year, like a Coughlin, offensively, which always is going to jump out at you more than I think a pitcher.
2-1 is hit high in the air, deep to left field. Stairs going back to the warning track. He has room, and he makes the catch. And a sigh of relief from everybody, because that would have really blown this first inning wide open. Instead, Jay Happ allows 2. Phillies are due up when we return. Now 2-0. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Brought to you by Budweiser. Leading it off at second base, Miguel Cairo. Greg Dobbs, the third baseman, bats second. Jason Worth is in right field. 1 RBI away from 100 for the season. Matt Stairs is the cleanup batter, followed by Ben Francisco, the center fielder. Andy Tracy's at first base. Eric Bruntley gets the start at shortstop. He'll hit 7th. Paul Bacco bats 8th, and batting 9th at pitching is Jay Happ. And they will face right-hander Josh Johnson, who's trying to win his 16th game of the year. He has had a very good season, 186 strikeouts and 204 in the third innings. You probably won't see him that long in this game, but he is still wrapping up an outstanding full season with the Marlins.
There's a Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. You see the sky's the limit. There are a lot of reasons why you didn't want this game to go down, or this to be the final game of the season where you had a win to get into postseason. The number one reason, Josh Johnson. You didn't want to face this guy today.
Well, he starts Miguel Cairo off with a fastball down and away, so 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, they've been limiting his work late in the season because of the Tommy John surgery and the fact that you know, he's a young pitcher. and they want to make sure he's going to be okay for a long time.
Cairo the opposite way will be retired by Carroll. And there's one away here in the first. Josh Johnson has an unbelievable winning percentage for his career. He's 34-16 with a career ERA of 3.34. And I say unbelievable just because of his youthfulness. He's 25, and he is stretching the wins away from the losses very quickly.
The stuff he has, he should. This guy should be a big-time winner unless he's just on an awful team, and he's certainly not on that.
Greg Dobbs takes a fastball for strike one.
Talk about throwing downhill, and they use that expression a lot. He really pushes and drives and gets his pitches down with a lot of velocity.
Dobbs the opposite way. Helms off his back leg throws him out. And they're 2 away. So 2 outs. Josh Johnson leads all Marlins pitchers in career winning percentage at the minimum of 20 wins. 680. Kevin Brown at 635. Pavano, a lot of that was done his last year with the Marlins, and that got him that big contract with the Yankees. Here's Jason Worth, who hit a 2-run home run yesterday to pull within 1 RBI from 100 for his career. He has 36 home runs and 99 runs batted in.
Yeah, that's some incentive to play today. Maybe you could get one more that would just look nice up there. The 36 home runs, 35 and 100. That's really nice and symmetrical. But 36 and 100, maybe even a little bit better.
Well, he's talked about maybe leaving some guys out there during the course of the season, but he also brought up a good point the other day, and I never really thought about this. Batting where he bats in the lineup, 5th or 6th, depending on the day. A lot of times Ryan Howard cleans everybody up, so there's nobody out there to drive in.
Oh yeah. Well, they all leave them out there in the course of a long season with strikeouts or not able to get the fly ball when you want to, or the ground ball. That's just all part of the game. But this team has the hitters in this lineup have an opportunity to knock in runs because they get so many base runners. Here's his home run yesterday off Brian Sanchez on an off-speed pitch, and just kind of reached down and one-handed it out of the ballpark. What was that? You were doing the game without a slider or changeup?
I thought it was a slider.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on that replay. He was kind of spinning down and away. Sanchez throws so many splits that sometimes it's hard to tell with him.
And a called strike 3. That one backed over the inside part of the plate, so Jason's down looking to finish up this first. One of the Bucks. Phillies trail at 2-0. lifted from the game. And that was one of the interesting parts about the conversation with Charlie yesterday when he was asked, if the Cardinals game goes final and you see that they have lost, will you take Cole out after 3? Because Charlie had just gotten done saying that he was looking at yesterday's game as being a playoff type game because he wanted home field advantage. And he said, me and Dubes were going to have to talk about that. And they talked about it, and he lifted him after 3.
Yeah. Didn't make much sense to leave him in there any longer if you're thinking about using him Wednesday or Thursday. And that certainly has not been announced.
Towards shortstop, Brundtland's got to hurry. Bonifacio runs well. 1 away. Well, each and every year, the Phillies honor one of the folks that are such a big part of their front office with the Richie Ashburn Award. And this year's recipient was Video Dan Stevenson, the Emmy award-winning videographer for the Philadelphia Phillies. There's John Ashburn, one of Richie's sons, presenting him with the plaque. And what a great honor for anybody from the Phillies organization to receive that award, but to be given out this year to the great Video Dan Stevenson.
Yeah, that's great. We're all really happy for Danny. Guys were asking what time he had to have the suit back. Just doesn't look right. His coat and tie.
No, he doesn't.
No, he looks very uncomfortable.
Dan Stevenson joined the Phillies in 1982. He was an owner of a very small video company and also a fixture at the great Downies in Philadelphia. You see the previous recipients of that award. Richard Dietz last year, Kurt Funk, Kathy Killian, Mike DiMuzio, as Josh Johnson goes down looking. Mage McDonald won that award. Larry Schenk won that award in 2003. Paul Owens, the Pope, won it in 1999. And Eddie Ferenz in 2001. Video Dan Stevenson had this small video production company. And in 1982 was hired by the Phillies on the recommendation of one Chris Wheeler.
Just because he sent me a drink one night. He was a bartender.
That was it, huh?
That was it.
All right, folks, if you need anything from Wheels, just send him a drink. Send it on over.
That is one of the best things that ever happened to the organization, that I happened to plop down at that bar that night looking for Jack Downey. He was a great friend for a long time. Unfortunately, we lost him last year. And Dan gave me a drink, and I said, well, thank Mr. Downey. He said, no, this is on me. And we got to talking, and he was a big Phillies fan, and one thing led to another, and he interviewed with the Phillies, and wow, has he done some great work.
Now, it was good that you said Jack and then paused. Downey finished it, because then everybody would have thought that your adult beverage was Jack Daniels.
No, it was probably a beer of some kind in those days. Who knows?
Richie is always in everybody's thoughts.
Yeah, John was here today, as you said, to present that award.
There's a little looper in foul territory on the third base side. The only thing over there to play that was the camera. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, there is a very large race going on right now in the American League. The Tigers and the Twins are tied coming into play today, and the Tigers put Justin Verlander on the mound against John Danks, and the Tigers lead the White Sox 3-0 in the 4th inning. The Tigers led the Central Division by 7 games less than a month ago. They have not had a good month of September. They are 10-15 in the last 25. Meanwhile, the Twins are 15-4 in their last 19. And if they are tied after today, they'll have a 1-game playoff. Not tomorrow, because the Packers are playing the Vikings.
Isn't that a shame that they would have to wait a day? Yeah. That just shows you when you're using the same facility, and of course they'll be out of that next year and not have to worry. But it's a shame they couldn't have shifted that game so you could have a playoff game.
Yep. Well, that's it, really. That's the only thing left in the race for the postseason. But you know what? It's nice to have at least one race.
Yeah, well, there weren't many this year. That's for sure. I mean, this one got a little bit tight in this division last week. It really didn't, but it seemed like it. It seemed like a noose was. Boy, he can hit.
It's a second hit of the day.
It seemed like the noose was getting a little tight last week, and then of course the Phillies got the job done. But there weren't many, and he hits them everywhere. You know, he gets jammed there. Jay made a really good pitch to him and jammed him. He got a little squirter his first time up. And the reason he's such a good hitter and gets so many hits is he doesn't strike out. You make contact the way that Coughlin does, and a lot of good things can happen. Excellent pitch there by J. Happ, and another hit for him.
Well, Coughlin next year may wind up at second base. As you see his hit total for the season, 112, which is the 5th most since the All-Star game or All-Star break in baseball history. And he is thrown out trying to steal. So Paul Bacco takes care of Chris Coughlin to finish off this second inning. So J. Happ works a scoreless frame. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Marlins. Lock in your seats with a new 2010 season ticket plan. Call 215-463-5000 or log on to Phillies.com for more information. And this has been, with the opening of this great ballpark, the most successful decade in Phillies history. I mean, it's just been unbelievable to see the amount of folks that have come through the turnstiles this year. As Matt Stairs leads things off and chops the second pitch from Johnson foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. But by the end of today, with this sellout, the Phillies will have drawn more than 3.6 million fans. I mean, that is staggering, and it's a credit to all the great folks that are part of the Phillies family. And that, of course, means the Phillies fans who've just been so supportive of this ball club. And I guess why not after winning a world championship?
Well, good teams equate to attendance. There's no doubt about it. If you have a team that people like and a team that's successful, the odds are they're going to come out and support them. And both of those things have happened here. This is a very entertaining group of players. They play well, they play tough, and these fans appreciate them, so they come out, and it's great entertainment. Then you have this ballpark, and what do you say about such a great place?
Well, the other thing too is that you have great personalities from the players. The way they play, the way they react. And they have won 849 games this decade. 849 this decade. .525 winning percentage, which is the second best in club history. Oh, and yeah, they won a world championship.
First few years, of course, were spent at Veterans Stadium before moving in here in 04. Yep. Those two guys, what do you say? They're going to go down as the best players at their position in Phillies history. Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins, and then throw Chase Utley in there too, and they're all playing at the same time, which is even more remarkable.
3-2 the count to Stairs, and he's down on strikes as he foul tips that one into the glove of Paulino. So 1 away here in the second.
Josh Johnson's going to get his work in today. He has everything. Matt Stairs was fouling a lot of pitches off on him, so he decided, all right, let's get this over. Let's see if he can hit this breaking ball here, and he just snapped one off.
Well, Ben Francisco getting another start today for the Phillies. And he takes a fastball outside. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Janice Teal of Philadelphia. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Janice will win $100. 2-1 the count. Fastball at 96.
And heavy. That's the thing about Josh Johnson's fastball. It's hard and a sinker. Kyle Kendrick up in the bullpen, deciding how long they're going to go with Jay Happ this afternoon. Charlie said he's going to use a lot of pitchers probably today. He wants to get a look at some more people, get some work for others. They're going to be off tomorrow and then have a workout on Tuesday.
Yeah, totally off.
Totally off. He wants to get them all away. Just get out and get back here on Tuesday and get serious. Not that they're not serious, but get really serious, because the intensity level must go up on Wednesday, and you would think it would, because the team they're going to play, they're ready for combat right now. The Colorado Rockies, they have been playing great baseball, and they, up till last night, they had meaningful games.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what's a lot of fun? Well, Tuesday night at 8, get the family together and play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Trust me, after homework, nothing makes the kids happier than turning the tables on mom and dad. Then at 9, MyPHL 17 presents a 1-hour playoff preview. Road to Repeat, live with John Clark and Mike Missinelli. It's all this Tuesday on MyPHL 17.
No game times have been officially announced yet, so we don't know when the Phils are going to play on Wednesday and Thursday. But the good news is they're going to be right here.
Andy Tracy takes one for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. You know, the other matchup will be the Cardinals and the Dodgers. The Dodgers officially won the National League West last night, and that's going to be a heck of a 5-game series, because you figure the Cardinals pitching can neutralize anybody's offense.
And the Dodgers offense has been non-existent lately. They threw up a 5 spot last night on Franklin Morales, who's been a late inning guy. That was in the 7th inning. Kershaw came out last night and was really dealing for the Dodgers. And so was Jorge De La Rosa for Colorado. And then he injured a groin, had to leave that game. I don't know whether that makes him unavailable for the short series coming up with the Phillies, but he wasn't walking real well when he left the field.
1-2 the count to Tracy. There goes the runner. Pitch is hit foul. Andy Tracy's hitting a cool .500. 4 for 8 as a pinch hitter so far. I believe that gentleman was the one who was in the way of that foul ball and was able to get it.
And that was a screamer.
Yes, it was.
Nice job out there. Protect everybody.
Looks like he was rubbing his ribs.
Oh. Caught one the way Sarge used to.
Used to at least hit Sarge's glove, though.
Sometimes. Or Sarge used to say, "What's the matter? I caught it."
I could so see him saying it, too.
Oh, he would. It's an out, right? Doesn't have to be pretty. Then he'd come in, bring that bat into home plate. He'd take care of a lot of things.
One ball, 2 strikes the count to Tracy. Francisco goes again. The pitch is taken inside. The throw to second is not in time until Francisco slides right past the bag. He just could have put the brakes on.
Yeah, he didn't. It looked like he missed the bag going by and then tried to grab it with his hand and missed. Right here, he has this baby stolen, and he just slides right over the bag and then cannot get back in time. And a good job by, what was it, Bonifacio to stay with him. Yeah.
And it's a strikeout, a breaking ball. Looked like a cutter. And down on strikes is Andy Tracy. So Bonifacio makes the tag that ends the base paths for Francisco. We go to the 3rd. It's 2-0 Marlins. information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, Wheels, who are the 4 Phillies that have won the National League Championship Series MVP award? You have to write them down, though?
Yeah, I got a shot at that.
Yep. Well, you have seen all 4, so.
I know 80 and 83, boom, boom. Just think about 93 and last year.
That answer will be revealed in the 7th inning today. Kyle Kendrick is the new pitcher for the Phillies. So J-Happ goes 2. He allows 4 hits and 2 runs, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. And he'll give way to Kendrick, who is making his 9th appearance. And Kyle Kendrick has pitched well in a Phillies uniform this year. 3-1 with a 2.66 earned run average. I should say he's pitched well in a Phillies uniform this month. Because earlier when he made that 1 appearance, he gave up a run or 2, but has really settled in and has shown a good changeup, has shown a pretty good slider, and of course he's got that good sinker. Facing Cameron Maben to start off the top of the 3rd, with the Marlins leading at 2-0.
Kyle's a heck of a story. This guy was not on the postseason roster last year. Just disappeared as the season went along, got sent back. And this year, they have not announced a roster yet, but he certainly has a heck of a chance to be on it the way he's pitched.
The biggest question is, just the health of a lot of the players, and who is going to be the left-handed guys out of the bullpen. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a pretty good change of speeds right there by Kendrick. Maben doubled and scored his last time up. You figure Scott Air and Ryan Matson, well, they are sure fits for this year's postseason. There's Antonio Bastardo, who pitched yesterday for the Phillies. He was just recalled from the minor leagues. A lot of tough decisions for Ruben Amaro Jr. and his staff, and for Charlie and Rich Doobie. Little number foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, ideally they wish everything were closer to last year and was more in order, and you were just, let's see, maybe who's another pitcher one has. Now right now they're scrambling.
Rich Doobie said yesterday that it's a lot like 2007, where they had all those injuries to the bullpen and to the pitching staff as the year went on. That one just missed. It's 3-2. Now, back in 2007, they used a lot more pitchers than they've used this year. But going into the postseason, they still had some questions on that final weekend about who would be part of the roster. And a swing and a miss. And Maben is down on strikes. A sinker from Kendrick. 1 away here in the 3rd. So Kyle has the first out.
As Tom said, a sinker ball. He threw a pretty good changeup in that at bat to Maben, and Maben just swings over the sinker fastball at 91.
That'll bring Nick Johnson to the plate. Johnson had a sac fly his first time up. Part of a 2-run first against J-Happ and the Phillies. Nick Johnson this year has been battling a whole lot of hamstring problems. And he's had a decent season, acquired from the Washington Nationals. But one thing that jumps out at you about Nick Johnson is not only his average this year, but he's made a lot of errors over at first base.
Well, he can't move the way that he used to. You just brought up the hamstrings. He had another severe leg injury,
broken
in a collision
leg,
a few years ago, so he's not as mobile as he used to be. If you don't have your legs under you, it really has to be tough to do a lot of things in sports, especially moving around first base, because everybody thinks you just pick the guy that can't play and stick him over there, and that's just so untrue, because the guys have to be agile that play there.
Oh, nearly hit him, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So a guy can hit. Well, let's put him at first. Doesn't work that way. It's good. Move him a little bit.
changeup hit foul right above the sweet level. And the count remains 2-2 to Johnson. Kendrick this year, as the year went on in AAA, just seemed to get better and better for the Iron Pigs, and that helped him when he came up here because he was pitching with a little bit more confidence.
Well, that was good that Baco called a 2-2 change up there. Normally I wouldn't say that. If you're in the middle of a game, you're in the heart of the order, you don't want to, but in this case, throw it as much as you can. Use it. See if you can get some left-handed hitters out with it.
That one went all the way past the glove of Kendrick and back to the screen. Is that a sinker that just didn't sink?
I think it's sort of going in for the. Yeah, that was a fastball.
Hey, visit the official online shop of the Phillies at Phillies.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. And now check out the newly added Phillies Authentic section, featuring authenticated game-used items, memorabilia, as well as autographed items. Get your gear straight from the source. Shop the Phillies.com shop. And there is one of the many stores and places to get Phillies merchandise here at the ballpark. Just a clubhouse store last couple of days has been just bustling with people getting their National League East Championship hats and t-shirts. The Alley store, which you just saw out in Ashburn Alley, has been busy as well. Chopper back to the mound. Kyle Kendrick can get two. There's one, and there's two. Sinker ball pitcher gets the sinker ball to work, and it's a 1-4-3 double play, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the third. Eric Bruntlett will be up for the Phils. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge, grab life. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Last of the third inning. It's Fan Appreciation Day here at Citizens Bank Park. A sold-out crowd on a beautiful day for baseball. And Eric Bruntlett sends one in the air down the left field line. On this Fan Appreciation Day, he gives a baseball to a fan. Yeah, and then it kicks right back.
Unfortunately, it was not handled out there.
Nope.
But Emilio Bonifacio will toss it back to the crowd.
Throughout the first three innings of this ball game, the fans here at the ballpark have their ticket stubs out because the Phillies are giving out prizes in between innings. And some of the prizes range from autographed jerseys, as Bruntlett skies one to right, and Carroll puts it away for out number one. And speaking of autographs, well, yesterday the fans were treated to Chris Wheeler's first book signing, and it was a resounding success from what we hear. The line those shots we showed the other night, the lines outside, well, that may not have been too far from the truth.
Well, it was fun, Tom. It was overwhelming, really. I'm just so appreciative of all the people that came by and so many really nice fans and bringing the books. And I don't know. Didn't expect it.
You were just hoping there was more than maybe 10 or 11?
Yeah, I just hope a couple would come by. I'd sit there for half an hour and leave. Well, we wound up staying an extra half hour, about an hour and a half. And I spent a lot of time with that book with Hal Gullen. We thought we did a pretty nice little product, and I hope people enjoy it. But that whole thing was, overwhelming to me, and I really do deeply appreciate all the nice people that came by, and thank you so much.
Well, it looked like, from our vantage point, that the line was long from the get-go, but then it kept getting longer as the day went on. That's
what they tell me. I didn't look up too often. You'd look up, say hi, take a picture, write something again, but it did seem to continue for a long time, and it was just so nice.
Did anybody bring like Sarge's book for you to sign, or was it just your book?
Is this a point where I'm supposed to be diplomatic or
no,
tell the truth?
Did somebody bring a Dr. Seuss book? Did somebody bring something other than your book?
No.
Okay. Just wondering.
That was a few ticket stubs, stuff like that, or a baseball, but no other publications, no.
All right. Well, anything else planned for the future? Any other book signings?
Probably during the off season. I told the Camino, Ed Juckowitz at Camino, I'd be happy to do some stuff. So I'm sure I'll be around doing it somewhere, Tommy. But once again, thanks a lot. That was so
great.
Nice. Yeah.
That was great. Well, 3-2 the count to Paul Bacco. Bacco hitting .230 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs this year. And he stays live, and it remains 3-2. In the air to left field. And Conklin doesn't have to go too far. And there are 2 away. Well, speaking of Wheels' book signing, we understand that not only was he signing books yesterday, but he was also taking questions from the studio audience as well.
I need to know, is the instructions for the Wheels dance in there?
I kind of put that in there saying I have no idea what that is. It's like a full body spasm or something. Yeah. Thanks for coming. All right.
So Wheels was answering questions about the Wheeler, the official dance of Chris Wheeler, which obviously everybody saw last year when the Phils won the World Championship.
People want you to do that.
Tell them to see the picture in the back of the book.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I would turn the book over and say, well, here's these clowns I work with, that they decided they were going to do it too, and then we took a picture of it. In fact, that was Dan Stevenson's idea, talking about Video Dan. Wasn't he? He was the guy that came up with the idea of you guys doing that.
He may have been.
He was.
Miles Kennedy took the photo.
Miles took the photo.
And it was a beautiful picture.
And it was Dan's idea to do that.
Well, the Fanatic got some plugs because he's on the cover of your book as well.
Thank you to the Fanatic for doing that.
4 strikeouts for Josh Johnson. Phillies still without a base hit through the first 3. The Fanatic trying to keep everybody alive here at the ballpark on Fan Appreciation Day. We go to the 4th. The logos from both teams with a Philadelphia skyline as well. It's available at both the Majestic Clubhouse store and the Eagles Pro Shop. It's $20, and all proceeds benefit the Jefferson Breast Care Center at Jefferson Hospital. And there is that T-shirt. And it is a great item. I know they sold out of them very quickly here at the ballpark, and they have gotten some more in, so they are available. So it's for a great cause, and it's a sharp T-shirt. The two teams teaming up here in the city of Philadelphia. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Gary Matthews joins us as Dan Uggla takes one at the knees for a strike. Uggla walked his first time up against Jay Happ. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes now. Happ worked the first 2 innings. He allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. And Kyle Kendrick took over to start the third. And a swing and a miss, and there's one away here in the fourth inning. Well, Sarge, the last couple of weeks we've been paying some homage to some of the folks who have done such great work here on the Phillies Television Network that folks don't normally see.
Yep.
Now, our first participant today, people sometimes see, and that's Joe Kennedy, who's our audio assistant, and he did so much to help me.
Hi,
oh,
Mom.
Joe.
Hi,
we would have
Mom.
said hi to your mom for you if you wanted.
Oh, boy.
Joe did so much to help me when I was going throughout the stands, and he does great work, and we appreciate it. And Joe had his birthday yesterday, and Joe has an alter ego he calls Angry Joe, and I think that's Angry Joe right there.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. 0-2 the count to Roddy Polito.
I think Joe looking to get on the other side of television.
Well, there might be some truth to that too. And a call, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kyle Kendrick. 3 strikeouts overall, 2 away.
Yeah, pretty late movement on that sinker. Good pitch as he caught the outside part of the plate. Just check this out as it comes in. Boy, a lot of movement. Arm angle the way he wants. Good pitch.
So 2 away, and here's Brett Carroll. Carroll flying out to left his first time up. And he takes one down and away. And Sarge, I don't want this day to go too far. So we've been thanking a lot of folks throughout the course of the day, and we want to send best wishes out to our friend Sal Amaradio, who is one of the security guards who is by the Phillies clubhouse all the time. Sal is recuperating at a rehab center here in Philadelphia, and Sal, you're always in our thoughts, particularly when we're walking past that clubhouse and you're not sitting there saying hello and asking about the club. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 2-0 Marlins. New Angus burgers made with juicy 100% Angus beef, available with premium toppings in 3 varieties for just $3.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. by your local Chevy dealers and by AT&T. Your world delivered. Bottom of the fourth inning, Phillies trail at 2-0. They're still looking for their first hit against Josh Johnson, who's allowed just one base runner. It was a walk to Ben Francisco in the second. And Miguel Cairo leads things off. Cairo flied out to right his first time up.
Well, it doesn't matter what guys are playing. Don't want to be hit on the last day of the season, or any day for that matter.
Don't want to be no hit.
No hit, exactly.
Yeah.
Johnson throwing a nice breaking pitch, and this guy has all the pitches. Good fastball, does have a nice breaking ball that he throws, keep the hitters off balance, not afraid to come inside.
Cairo lines one to deep left field. Coughlin going back, and it's gone! Solo home run for Miguel Cairo. It's the first hit of the game, the first run of the game for the Phillies. And Cairo puts the Phillies on the board. It's 2-1 Florida.
Well, that's how you like to break up a no-hitter. You get a home run, you get an RBI, you get a run scored, and you get the hit. As Cairo jumps in the Cadillac, picking on a fastball, out over the plate from Johnson to see the location of this ball. Well, wanted it in, didn't get in, so it got out. Nice hitting.
And Janice Teal of Philadelphia, you've just won $100 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Quick to the ball as Cairo goes against that front foot there. Boy, you got to feel good, too, to be able to go through the season. And that last day at least get you one home run. And Cairo was able to do that.
Oh, Miguel Cairo did not hit a home run in all of last season as Dobbs loops one behind second, and Ugla, fighting the sun, makes the grab. Did not hit a home run all of last season. He did not hit a home run in 2007, and he didn't hit one in 2006. I mean, I think we're going back for Miguel Cairo.
Wow, well, then he was due.
Oh, he was doing a long way. We're going back to 2005. There you see, July 28th, 2005. That was Miguel Cairo's last home run.
Well, I guess you got to factor that law of average in there, where sooner or later he was going to hit one.
Imagine if you went that long without hitting a home run. Could never imagine it, could you?
Yeah, I know one thing. You would think about it. That's for sure.
Jason Worth has had 2 balls and no strikes.
That's a long way to go without having a home run. You'd think you just run into a hanger every now and then.
And Worth lines one to left. And he's got a base hit. So second hit of the inning allowed by Johnson. Cairo's last home run came in July of 2005 against Chad Falls. And when you hit one, you talk about it.
Well, you got to talk about exactly where the pitch was. With this particular case, just a fastball out over the plate. Both clubs, though, even though they want to win the game, don't have the same type of adrenaline flowing as if it meant one of the clubs getting in or getting out. That's all been taken away. So now you can just tune up and get ready for postseason.
Oh, and 1 the count to Stairs. Well, with what you've seen, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but from Cairo the last few weeks, I mean, he's got a chance to get on the postseason roster.
Oh, no doubt, just with the hits alone. And again, he is pretty steady. He fell back into one of those things last year with Bruntlett. Well, Bruntlett had a pretty good year the year before. So
right.
You kind of get the edge on anyone that would come over from a different organization. Not to say that Cairo couldn't do the job, but I don't think Cairo could play center field, and Bruntlett could and
Good
has.
point.
And that way he may have gotten the edge on that.
1 ball and 1 strike the count to Matt Stairs. Stairs struck out his first time up. And now Josh Johnson wants to talk to Ronnie Paulino. Ryan Howard has hit 45 home runs this year. And since Miguel Cairo last hit a home run before today, Ryan Howard's hit over 150 of them.
Well, that's why you do have a team. Some guys line drive hitters. Some guys hit the ball out of the ballpark like Howard. Some guys are fast runners.
Worth is going. The throw is taken on one hop, and Worth slides past the bag but keeps his hand on it. I think we got to wet down the infield a little bit, Sarge.
Wow, what a nice little slide throw as he was sliding across the bag. I think he actually caught that bag with his hand as he was going by. Gets a pretty good jump. Now watch when he slides as he goes across the bag. Keeps going. Wow.
Bonifacio just kept the glove on him.
And he kept himself right on the bag, it seemed like.
Ooh.
But I don't know. Pretty close play, but good stolen base nevertheless.
Well, that's 19 stolen bases now for Worth, so he's one away from 20 again. And it's low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, oh man, it looks like
wow,
there's a good chance for a playoff on Tuesday. The Tigers lead the White Sox 4-0. The Twins lead the Royals 4-0. That one's in the 2nd inning.
How about that? Oh. Well, you got to like the way that Minnesota has gone about their work and what they needed to do to put themselves in a position at this particular point. Still a long way to go, however.
Well, one of the guys that's really carried them is Michael Kadire. He has 31 home runs, and he hit one yesterday. Turned out to be the game winner. Three and two the count to Stairs. And he's down on strikes, so 2 away. The Stairs strikes out for the 2nd time. It's that kind of day here at the ballpark. It's kind of like a summer type day. Sunglasses on, casts are up on the railing. I mean, it's that kind of day. One last chance here in the regular season to get your perfect shot. There have been a lot of good photos taken this year and a lot of good sights to be seen here at this ballpark. As Ben Francisco takes one upstairs, it's 1-0.
It'll be interesting to see exactly how the bats are going to come alive there when the playoffs start. Usually, guys that are hitting and are hot continue to stay hot. A lot of times, guys that haven't been swinging the bat very well don't seem to be able to turn it on, but we'll see what happens. There's a lot of clubs that are not playing so well that will be in postseason that have gotten into it, including St. Louis, along with, for me, Los Angeles, where they're losing a lot of games. Like to win those games going into postseason, so you do have some momentum that you're building up.
2-1 the count to Francisco. Worth goes, pitch is taken for a strike, and no throw to third, and Jason Worth has stolen his 20th base of the season. Well, he stole his 20th base last year in the final day of the regular season when he came on late in that ball game as a pinch hitter.
Well, you see the jump, no chance for Helms, third baseman, even trying to get over. Would have been a running target, if you will, if he was trying to get there.
And Francisco's going to bring him home with a single to left field. The tying run scores. It's a 2-2 game. Jason Worth's legs set up that run. A single, 2 stolen bases, and then the RBI by Ben Francisco.
Well, just a good setup by Francisco and driving in that run there. A solid line drive into left field. Well, the more you see this kid here, the more you seem to think that he has a pretty good approach about hitting. He does hit the fastball, can hit the breaking ball as he drives Worth in.
So Jason Worth with back-to-back 20 stolen base seasons. He said he's taken the 100 RBI approach. That he's taken the same approach he took last year when he picked up his 20th stolen base on the last day of the season. There goes Francisco. He takes a pitch high. The throw to second is also high, and Francisco again slides past the second base bag. He popped off the bag and was tagged by Bonifacio. Somebody should bring a bottle of water out around second base and just start dumping it around just to slow things up. So a caught stealing. This inning, though, successful for the Phillies. Miguel Cairo started it with a solo home run to left. It's a 2-2 game. Available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Call 215-218-5100 or log on to Phillies.com/special events for more information. It's a 2-2 game as Kyle Kendrick goes back to work here in the fifth. And he gets Emilio Bonifacio to bounce the first one right to Cairo. And there's one away. So now the pitcher's spot is due up. Josh Johnson will get a chance to hit. Sarge, there have been so many great moments this year, and the Phillies are hoping that there will be even more great moments to come. You have one that stands out?
You know, and I was thinking about that as you had asked that, maybe a couple of them, but the one for sure, Bruntlett, the triple play. I mean, the way he was having that game, and he had the 3 hits and was looking pretty good. Then he started making some errors.
As he said, he was the guy kicking the ball around to set up that inning.
And then the line drive, and that was again when Lidge was out there, didn't know exactly what happened. Line drive, triple play, I thought was really pretty nice. And the other one, Philly Fanatic on that, me and Mrs. Jones, when he took off and his mom fell back. That was another pretty good moment for me.
There's ball 4. Josh Johnson, the pitcher, draws a 1-out walk here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, speaking of that triple play, here it was against the Mets, 23rd of August. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3 right there.
Oh, boy. Unbelievable.
And Francoeur, he smoked that ball, and he was not pleased.
Oh. Yeah, Brad Lidge couldn't believe it. Didn't know exactly what was going on, but when they said 3 outs, he said, "I'll take it." Oh, boy.
Well, I think the funniest thing was Bruntlett during the post-game conversations with people saying, I mean, just basically flat out coming out and saying, well, there I was just kicking the ball around, and then the ball finds me. Well, that triple play, I'm sure, will be in our Plays of the Year package, which is coming up at the conclusion of today's ball game here on the Phillies television network. It's probably a highlight for Eric Bruntlett too in his career.
Well, the worst thing you want to do is to make errors and cost your team the victory or putting runners on. And at the time, Brad Lidge wasn't going so good, so you know he didn't want to see any errors. Jerry Manuel, New York manager, decides to run the runners because Lidge is slow to the plate, and lo and behold, bingo.
That's another hit for Chris Coghlan. That's his third hit of the day. Sarge, the man has 113 hits since the All-Star break.
Unbelievable. I mean, he shows that hey, this is no fluke. He's been hitting. Obviously, he'll be judged, next year. But this year, he's been carrying it on, and 9 home runs to boot. He stays in there, doesn't bail on either pitcher, right-handed or left-handed.
So now with 1 out in the top of the 5th, Kyle will face Cameron Maben, who's 1 for 2. He's doubled and scored a run. He's also struck out today. Gentleman's hand is stinging a little bit, but he made the play. Line drive, foul. Look out, Christy Oaks.
That ball was ripped down that line. Good thing that it was foul. All the ball girls are told when you leave that area, make sure you take that chair with you. Now, that particular ball, I might have had to break the rules and get out of the way.
And leave the chair?
Leave the chair right there. Nice job.
With 2 the count to Cameron Maben. Another chopper, this one right to Bo Porter. And the count holds 2 strikes.
Well, you look at this Florida Marlins ball club, you can't help but feel that these guys aren't too far away, especially with the pitching that they have, providing that they can kind of keep the nucleus of their players around.
And Freddie Gonzalez was saying that he thinks that this season will help his team next year, particularly the young guys, because they figured out how to win. And he's right, because his team was involved in so many meaningful games here in September against the Phillies, against the Braves, and they held their own. The oddity is, Freddie, you assume, is going to come back next year because he's done a wonderful job with this team. The coaches have not been told whether they're coming back next year, and this is a pretty good coaching staff too.
Well, I tell you, that is just nerve ending there for the coaches.
Nice play by Dobbs for the second out. So 2 away. Here's Mark Wiley, the pitching coach for the Marlins. And here's Sarge's other favorite moment of the year. Fanatic and Phoebe. Here we go.
Oh, gosh. That was great.
Oh. Of course, the Fanatic was there to help Phoebe up, and like any good son would be. I don't think Phoebe's recovered from that.
Mom's hip was hurting there a little bit.
Here's 2 away now for Nick Johnson. Johnson has a sac fly and a walk so far in the game.
And I'm sure the coaches are going around and asking, hey, am I coming back? I'm coming back. One of my other friends just got fired from Cincinnati. Pitching coach Dick Pole was let go.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that too.
They were starting to play pretty good. And I know for a fact there are guys that call upon him to this day. Derek Lowe for one, and Greg Maddux gives him a lot of credit.
Jamie Moyer talks about Dick Pole being part of the whole process for him to become the pitcher that he became.
Yeah, so you just don't really understand it, and a lot of times it's really unfortunate.
1-1 the count to Johnson. And that one just misses, so 2 balls and 1 strike.
Got rumors that Dave Duncan could be there in Cincinnati. He hasn't signed again with St. Louis. There is a little bit of history there with Jocketty. But, you know, we'll see what happens. And Duncan has had a lot of success everywhere he's gone. Ooh. And Kyle gets that movement on the fastball. Very difficult to hit. He's got to keep the ball down. The changeup has helped out that fastball or the sinker that he throws.
Balls, 2 strikes the count to Nick Johnson. And there's ball 4, so the bases are going to be loaded. So Kyle's loaded up the bases here in the 5th with 2 outs now. Charlie Manuel will watch him face Wes Helms, but not until after a few words of advice from Paul Bacco. That's the 3rd walk issued by Kyle in this outing, 2nd one in the inning. And the first pitch to Helms misses down low. Helms has popped out. He's also grounded back to Kendrick. Headed to a 1-4-3 double play. Opposite way, Jason Worth on the run over toward the line, and he's not going to get there. 2 runs are going to score as Johnson holds up at 3rd, and the Marlins have retaken the lead on the 2-run single by Wes Helms. Well, the walk to the pitcher is what has hurt Kyle Kendrick the most in this inning.
Yeah, that was not a bad pitch.
No,
however,
that wasn't a bad pitch. You're right.
Watch and see exactly where this ball was on the outside part, or actually coming in. He didn't get good wood on it, and he just had good placement. As you can see, we're trying to come in and cut that ball off. No chance for Jason Worth to catch the ball in right field.
So the Marlins have retaken the lead. It's 4-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. And Dan Uggla, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, will stand in. And it's a strike on the outside corner.
Dan Uggla should hit for a higher average. One of those second basemen in the league. Has great production with the home run. It strikes out a little bit too much and doesn't walk enough to have that average up there where it should be, right around, I'd say 275 or higher. But you put that ball in the wrong zone, obviously he can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Back toward the middle, another base hit and another run for the Marlins. It'll be an RBI for Uggla. On to 3rd goes Helms. The throw on 1 hop, not in time. I have to admit, I was kind of surprised to see Wes Helms taken off for 3rd base.
Now that's just something that should not happen. Francisco, and the ball is hit. You want to come in and charge it as hard as you can and be in that position to throw the ball, as you see Charlie coming out now. Just don't think that with the arm of Francisco that Helms should be able to score on him. You see how he kind of slows down. Now he starts to go on and try and throw a little bit too late as Helms aggressively goes into 3rd base.
So Kyle Kendrick's afternoon is done. He allows 3 runs in this 5th inning so far, but the 2 runners on base are his responsibility, and he's going to hope that Clay Condrey can strand them. Primetime lineup is in full swing with 2 of television's best dramas. Monday night starts at 8 with 2 hours of Law and Order, Criminal Intent starring Chris Noth and Vince D'Onofrio. Wednesday nights it's the premiere of the critically acclaimed military drama, The Unit, starring Dennis Haysbert. It's Wednesdays at 8 on MyPHL 17. Well, top of the 5th inning, 2 runners on. Marlins have scored 3 runs, and now Clay Condrey's on for his 45th ball game. He is 6-2 with 3.02 earned run average, and he's facing Ronnie Paulino. Well, this inning started innocently enough with 1 pitch to Emilio Bonifacio. He grounded out to second, but then Kyle Kendrick walked the pitcher. A single by Coughlin, followed by a ground out, a walk, and a 2-run single by Helms. And then a base hit by Ugla to drive in another one. And the Marlins have retaken the lead. See what Paulino's done against the Phillies this year. 15 hits. He's hitting .357 against him. And that one, oh, what a play by a fan on the backhand with his bare hand.
Wow. Well, they usually didn't allow a block for something like that as the ball goes into the stands. And
whoa. That gentleman right there with the Utley shirt on. Nobody else realizes he has it.
They're all looking around for it.
They're all in back of them. He didn't get it. That guy right there in the.
He said, "Did you catch the ball?"
Right there.
He said, "Did you catch the ball?" Yeah, I caught it.
Look at that catch.
Oh, one-handed. And he's looking back to see where it is.
All right, let's re-cue the top plays by the fans. We got to put that one in there. That was a heck of a grab. I wonder if his son even realizes he has the ball. He's more concerned about that ice cream.
Oh, boy.
3-2 the count now to Paulino. So with 2 outs, that means that Ugla is going to be off and running from first. Andy Tracy will play behind him. Ugla goes, pitches chopped toward third. Big easy hop for Greg Dobbs, and the inning is finally over. But the Marlins sent 8 men to the plate. They scored 3 runs in the inning. They strand 2. Middle of the 5th. Andy Tracy will lead it off when we return. It's the Phillies video yearbook box set, which includes videos from 2001 through 2008. The DVD set starts with the 2001 video yearbook. It takes us all the way up through last year. It also has the Goosebumps from 2007, which Jimmy Rollins voiced over. Last year's video, which Brad Lidge voiced over. It is a great item. Purchase it now at the Majestic Clubhouse store or call 1-877-GO-PHILS or log on anytime at Phillies.com. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Phillies down 3 as Josh Johnson will deal with Andy Tracy to start things off, and he delivers a fastball for a strike.
Ball almost right down the middle that Tracy took.
Tracy struck out his first time up. And he hits one in the air to straightaway center field. Maben going back, and that one is off the top of the wall. Maben played it as if it was going out of the yard, and Tracy's around second. He's playing it like he wants a triple, and he's going to get a triple. He slides in feet first. A 3-base hit, his first one of the year. And the Phillies have the leadoff batter in scoring position. The year 2000 was the last time that Andy Tracy had a triple.
Well, then he was due.
He was due also.
Well, he hits that ball off the center field wall. Now, he kind of slowed down, obviously not a fast runner, but he thought he got this ball as he hits first base and goes towards second. Was undecided about going to third base and actually picked it up. You can see how he, at second now, you see how he turns it on a little bit more, giving it all he has as he hits the dirt.
Well, Maben was kind of undecided on how he wanted to play that, too, because I think he thought, like Tracy did, that it was out of the yard.
Yeah, he did think that ball was out of the yard and actually just kind of cruising on the ball. I don't think he could have actually caught up to catch it, but he could have played it off the wall a little bit better.
So runner on third. Here's Eric Bruntlett. He flied out to right his first time up. And he pops the first pitch foul. And out of play.
I look at Maben as he goes to the wall. Looks like he knows he can't catch the ball. Now, he gives up on that ball, and he was so close. The ball goes right between his legs there. Carroll doing some hustling, but not able to get it. If Carroll gets the ball, maybe Tracy's not able to get to third base.
Opposite way, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Tracy's going to score an RBI single for Bruntlett. And the Phils are within 2. 7th RBI of the year for Eric Bruntlett. Figure the Marlins want to get Josh Johnson through this inning. But the Phillies would love to knock him out of this inning.
And reason being that they'd like to try and get a victory for Johnson. He's had an extremely good year this year.
Wiley out to the mound. There's Andy Tracy. Only 2 career triples. First one since 2000. Dave Huppert, his manager at Lehigh Valley, with the glasses on there, looked like he said something to him.
He's out of breath. That's what he wants to do, a little lean and take a little drink.
All right, Sarge, we were talking about whether that gentleman's catch an inning ago should be in the fans' plays of the year. What do you think about this one? This is pretty good, huh?
No doubt about it. And he really fooled everybody else.
Folks in the truck think this is the best one.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Everybody else is ducking and he one-hands the ball. Oh, a little backhand piece. I mean, is there a way you can have a tie?
No, you have to make a decision. I'm going to go with the backhand piece.
Yeah, I am too. Definitely. I mean, just a degree of difficulty in backhanding the ball.
Right.
The other way in front, you're seeing it coming right in front.
Right, closer to the field. One ball, no strikes, the count to Paul Bacco. Paul flat out to left, his only time up. 2-0. .78 pitches for Josh Johnson. We said they're trying to limit his innings. He's over 200 for the season.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to rest now in the offseason.
Bacco sends one in the air to straightaway center. That's well hit but playable. And Maben puts it away. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, well, the ball has looked that big for the Minnesota Twins today. They lead it 7-0 in the third. Tigers, meanwhile, their lead is down to 2 in the 8th inning.
Wow.
If those 2 win or lose, then there will be a playoff on Tuesday. Listen to the reaction for Shane Victorino.
Well, he's obviously become a crowd favorite.
So Victorino stands in and he lines one foul. And the count is 0-1.
Well, he turns on a pitch, 94 inside that he pulls. Victorino had a chance to hit 300, one of his goals that he wanted to do, but he still had a good year.
Bartlett goes and he is safe at second base. He made sure that he went straight into the bag so it could stop him there.
Well,
just stealing all over the place against Ronnie Paulino.
Yeah, you wonder why they aren't running. Actually, stealing on Johnson, the pitcher. He's got to be 1-4, 1-5 to the plate. And Davey, when runners get on, knows that, relays that information, and off you go.
A little daylight play on. Bruntlett got back as the ball was dropped by Bonifacio.
Would have been a close play.
It would have been. Davey Lopes, every time you ask him,
you can see how he's panicking. He's getting back, and I don't know. Well, looks like he might have been under the tag a little bit. Good thing that throw wasn't much lower. Well, Bruntlett out there a little bit jumpy. He's ready to go.
Well, Davey Lopes always wants these guys to run. If there's a guy that's slower to the plate, he wants them to go. He doesn't care what the situation is or who you are. He would rather you be aggressive. Off the end of the bat, it's a flare into center field, a base hit. Rutledge's around third, heading for home. He'll score. It's a one-run game, an RBI single for Victorino.
Nice score. Sam Palazzo, third base coach, being aggressive as that ball goes into the outfield. Nice job again. Yeah, that's the way you want to do. Be able to fight back as the ball goes in to left center there. You'll see Maben coming to the pitcher. No chance to get Brentland crossing the plate.
So here's Miguel Cairo, who homered his last time up. 1 for 2. He's also lined out to right. Well, you figure if everybody else was running, Victorino's, you would figure, is going to run at some point.
Well, he's got the time, you think, getting the jump, that he'd be running. Cairo, as he goes deep, getting the head out as he drives the ball out of the ballpark. Boy, that'd have to feel good to him after all those years. What do you think?
Yeah. You know, he hit one in spring training this year down at Bright House Field, and it was a frozen rope right down the left field line. And it was at that point that I was looking at his career numbers, and it dawned on me that he hadn't hit one in a couple of years. I mean, he's a line drive hitter. He's got some pop.
Yeah, a lot of times too, when they hit him in batting practice or so on, they'll always say, "Hey, what time is it?" Meaning that it's not the time of the game, as he hits a rocket right at Nick Johnson. Well, I don't know how Nick actually ended up catching that ball.
You could always say it caught him. So Cairo's retired. 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th inning. And it'll bring Greg Dobbs to the plate. Dobbs is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped out. And he lines one toward right center field. That's going to tie the ball game up around third. Heading for home is Victorino. RBI single for Dobbs. It's a 5-5 game. And that may be it for Josh Johnson.
Yeah, it is. Good call.
So Josh Johnson's going to be lifted from this ball game. He had a 2-0 lead and a 5-2 lead. And you're right, it is home cooking time. Johnson's season and day is done. Phillies dip into the Marlins bullpen with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. From Shane Victorino. So Josh Johnson goes 4 2/3. He allows 7 hits and strikes out 5, and he gives way to Tim Wood, who's in his 18th ball game. And the Phillies still have a chance here to add to the runs they've scored, as Jason Worth 1 RBI shy of 100. Well, dig in with a runner at first.
Hope he gets it. I mean, he still won't diminish the year that he's had this year, but when he starts to look back at this particular year, when he gets out of the game and having 99 RBIs, he's not going to feel good about it, knowing from experience. And you start to think of all the guys you left on third base.
He said that even yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was talking about just not guys in third base, but just guys in general.
What was that?
I had something caught in my throat there for a second, Sarge.
All right, no problem.
I said guys in general that he's left on base.
Okay.
Oh, all the way back to the screen. Jason said, hey, get into scoring position.
Oh, now that's what you want. Let's see what kind of a bat he's going to have, whether or not he keeps everything in there locked. You can see his teammates there pulling for him. They're telling him to hit it out of the ballpark.
No, they're making fun of him because he was waving Dobbs over to second.
He's waving Dobbs. Well, you know Victorino's going to be right in it. Making sure that he does get over to the second base, that he sees it.
2-1 the count. Jason singled and scored his last time up. Look at him. Watch. Whoop. Every good hitter. Yeah, come on. Go.
See, they'll be all on him for doing things. This club does get on each other. Oh. Well, it looked like a changeup as opposed to a fastball. It showed 90 right there. Jason out in front of that pitch. Gun's got to be wrong on that top.
You think so?
No doubt.
Down on strikes is Jason Worth, and the inning is over. But the Phillies score 3 runs in the inning. They strand 1 in scoring position. It's a 5-5 game as we go to the 6th. Here for you every step of the way. Well, these fans have been unbelievable this year here at Citizens Bank Park. More than 3.6 million have come through the gates to watch this team play and watch this team get into the postseason. And we think that's the gentleman who we showed earlier this season a couple different times, raising the youngster up and down. Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. No, that's not the way. It's supposed to be the other way.
Oh, no. Well, maybe he just got through eating.
Now that's him. Yeah, that is him. Okay.
Oh, it is it. His son said, come on, Dad.
Yeah, Dad, didn't we go through this already once before? Brett Myers is the new pitcher for the Phillies. And he takes over for Clay Condrey. This is Myers' 18th game. He pitched in yesterday's ball game, so this is kind of a test for Brett to see if he can go in back-to-back games. That's a pretty good hook right there.
Sure was a good hook. And he's got those shadows there working for him. A little difficult to see the spin of the ball when you have the shadows.
Carroll today is 0 for 2. He's flat out. He's grounded to shortstop. All right, so he's showing the fastball, the real looping curve. That was another breaking pitch that was a curve, but it looked more like a slider.
On the outside part of the plate as he throws that ball.
Yesterday, Brett threw, I think it was 19 pitches in the game against the Marlins. And it remains, or now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carroll.
You can see the spin he has on the ball once it hits the ground there on Baco, kind of bounced over his head. .90 right there with the fastball, and he would like for it to be higher. However, the good breaking balls makes that fastball seem that much harder. So he's working to get that breaking ball over if he can.
And he does. It's a swing and a foul tip into the glove of Baco. There's one away.
One of the hardest pitches for a right-hander, that sharp breaking curveball. As you see this one, little 12-6 piece going straight down. The one that's slower, you have a chance to kind of, well, reset yourself, if you will. That one that breaks hard, very difficult to hit at the time.
Emilio Bonifacio takes the first pitch outside. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Once to Bruntlett at shortstop, once to Cairo at second. And it's 2-0. That's over for a strike. It's 3-1. And there's ball 4. That one just missed, but it is a 1-out walk for Bonifacio. Burke Badenhop is up and loosening in the bullpen for the Marlins. And here comes Charlie Manuel. That's going to be it for Brett Myers. So Myers throws 11 pitches in this inning. Sergio Escalona has been loosening up. It looks like he'll be the next one out of the pen for the Phillies. Maybe just the ability to come back from one day to the next was important to see Brett do that. So that's what they have seen. His afternoon is complete. Sergio Escalona's afternoon is just beginning here in the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th inning, the Marlins have a base runner with 1 out here at Citizens Bank Park, and Charlie Manuel is going to use his 5th and probably not his last pitcher of the day. Sergio Escalona is in his 14th ball game. He's 1-0 with a 5.25 earned run average, and he will face Gabby Sanchez, who was already introduced as a pinch hitter for the Florida Marlins when the change took place to take Brett Myers out and bring Sergio Escalona in. So here's Sanchez, 4 hits and 20 at bats this year. This is the guy that the Marlins thought was going to be their starting first baseman at the beginning of the season, but he did not win the job in spring training. Bonifacio won the third base job, and they moved Cantu, or I should say won a job, and they moved Cantu over to first base. So Sanchez spent the year down in the minors. And 0-2 the count. If the Phillies take 2 left-handers, Sarge, and you figure they already have Scott Air, that's 1. You know, is it down to Sergio Escalona and Antonio Bastardo? You know, one guy throws harder than the other. We saw Bastardo throw yesterday, and I think it's, you know, it's a tough answer for Charlie Manuel. You know, does he go with Escalona or does he go with Bastardo? Neither one has a whole lot of experience.
Yeah, and he's going to probably go with the one he feels that will have the better control, or one of the guys that he knows that has a better chance of getting out a left-hander. Maybe say in an inning where you're taking out your right-hander, maybe in the 6th inning where you don't want to use up a Scott Air in that 8th inning or so.
Well, then the other question is, does he put Jay Happ in the bullpen, and is he the second left-hander?
He could be a swing man for them, and it just depends which way Ruben and the guys decide they would like to go. But to have a player that's versatile to be able to start or go in there, and you know that they'll be able to give you a good job either way, is what you would like.
Well, that one is poked down the right field line, and Bonifacio flies over to third, so Sanchez has the pinch hit. And the Marlins have 2 runners on now with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
So really, this is kind of what you would call an audition for both the guys, because let's face it, they are looking, especially since J.C. Romero won't be with them, or Jamie Moyer.
Well, the other thought is to, you know, keep Jay Happ in the bullpen for the first few days or first few games of the first round, and if you don't use him, then you can start him.
Yeah, well, good pitch. I think that when you're starting them, you want to make sure that, you know, the days of rest in between doesn't make them too strong, where they're too giddy. You know, he might have too many days in between. But, you know, again, I'm sure the guys will feel that they can do whatever job that Charlie asked them to do.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Coghlan.
I'm sure that Jay Happ would love to be able to start, and he probably feels he could be even more effective, but we've seen him be effective both ways.
Chopper right side, Cairo to second for 1. That's all they're going to get, and the Marlins will retake the lead. It's an RBI for Coghlan, his 47th of the year.
Boy, he stays in there on left-handers. Good speed, hard to double up, as you can see there, especially from that left side, and he gets it on the ground, and he's going to make sure that you don't turn that double play.
Most hits after the All-Star game since 1965. Coghlan with 113, tied with Juan Pierre and Bill Buckner.
He's in with some heavy customers there.
Well, the heaviest is Pete Rose, right?
No doubt.
Although Buckner was a heck of a major league player. As Maven is retired on that liner toward the gap in left center field, so the inning is over. Coghlan gets the RBI on the ground out. That gives the Marlins the lead. It's 6-5 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-800-JEFF NOW. Last of the 6th inning, Phillies trail it again. It's 6-5. And it'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Phillies against the new pitcher Burke Badenhop. For the Marlins, Josh Johnson went the first 4 2/3, and he allowed 5 runs. Then Tim Wood came on and got the final out in the 5th inning. And now Burke Badenhop has had a good year, 7-4, 3.86 ERA, 71 hits in 70 innings. He's been kind of a swingman. He's started. He's also relieved a good portion of the season. And he will face Matt Stairs, who is 0 for 2.
Now we've gone over my favorite play. What do you think your favorite play might be during the course of the year? I actually had the AAA or the triple play.
Right, the triple play. I thought about
play.
I thought that one too. I mean, that one was a good one. I thought about Raul Ibanez's home run up at Citi Field, but my favorite moment this year was the 10-run inning the Phillies had back in July. I mean, just because it's not something that you see every day.
Right.
I mean, there were some great game-winning plays, game-winning home runs. You know, the Raul Ibanez grand slam after Ryan Howard had hit a grand slam.
Oh boy! And the number of grand slams the team have hit this year has just been unbelievable. First of all, to hit them. Second of all, to be able to have that many men on to have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, the Phillies with 11 grand slams. It's 1 off the record for slams in a season in the National League, 3 off the Major League record. And Raul had such a great first half of the season. Fastest Philly to 20 home runs. That is a tough pitch from Matt Stairs.
Yeah.
Well, here it is, July 6th. This is the 10-run inning for the Phillies. Victorino, Jason Worth. I mean, they were swinging against the Cincinnati Reds. Greg Dobbs, he went yard. Pedro Feliz took one in the blouse. And then Cole Hamels, he even got into the mix. Jimmy Rollins was swinging. In fact, that was the start of Jimmy Rollins really swinging well. And Chase Utley hit that home run. 3 home runs in the inning for the Phillies. And one guy after another just kept coming to the plate. So what out? Here's Ben Francisco. Francisco has singled and driven in a run. He's walked. And he lays off. It's 1-1. You know, this season, you think back to April, to opening night against the Braves. Phillies wearing those uniforms with the gold trim, real sharp uniforms after winning the World Championship. Then the ring ceremony and everything that was surrounding that. Harry's passing, which it took a toll. I mean, obviously on everybody in the Delaware Valley, but even on the players too. I mean, that was a tough day for everyone in Washington. And then, you know, the tremendous memorial service here at the ballpark. Jamie, you know, speaking on behalf of the team and really on behalf of Phillies fans, because he grew up listening and watching Harry and Whitey. And then for this team to be able to put together the year that they've put together with everything that's gone on, you know, sometimes you wonder when a team has a lot of success, well, it's easy. You just have success again.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes on and goes into the success and failure of a squad. And, you know, Charlie's just been great.
Yeah.
He's been great. Well, they just announced the attendance for today's ball game. The Phillies have established a franchise record of 3,600,693 tickets sold. 45,000 plus today. 73 sellouts. 73 of the 81 home games sold out, including 42 in a row. So there'll be a 42 game stretch of sellouts at home that the Phillies will take into 2010.
Yeah, keep in mind they didn't play very well at home the beginning of the year. They had to fight back to get over 500, and they did.
And now the second best record since the 1st of July in Major League Baseball at home. Second only to the Yankees. Well, and as Raul Ibanez said today, said it so well as he was thanking the crowd. Postseason coming, this crowd is going to play a role in the success of this team, because it is obviously loud here anyway.
And you notice that as a player, and you definitely notice it as a player that would be here every day, and a player that would come in like Ibanez, who's had good years, but have not seen a crowd like the Philadelphia Philly crowd, and the way that they can scream and yell and get your adrenaline flowing. We've heard players talk about that before. It's a nice looking little hat.
Might be the start of something there, Sarge.
Yeah, they make me get out of my straw hat, so I'm going now to my fedoras and the wool hats now for the playoffs.
Because it's going to get colder.
It should get a little more colder, yeah. Want to keep that head warm there, Tom.
Tracy the opposite way. That'll slice foul. And out of play. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andy Tracy has a triple and a run scored. And he has also struck out today. And he rolls over on one, and Dan Uggla is there, and the inning is over. Phillies are retired in order here in the 6th inning. Sarge, as always, it's been great, buddy.
Sure has been. We
go to the 7th. It's a 6-5 Marlins lead.
It's a gorgeous afternoon here. Good ball game this afternoon too. It's fun to watch. A lot of stuff going on. 6-5 right now. The Marlins lead it. The Phillies with 4 runs batted in today on singles. And Miguel Cairo, his first home run since 2005. He had a home run one time, Tom, late in the game for the Cardinals that beat the Phillies a game at the old Busch Stadium. Hit off Real Cormier, but he's never been known as a home run hitter, more of a contact guy. That's a Verizon Wireless game summary.
Nick Johnson leads things off against Sergio Escalona. Well, Miguel Cairo has never had a multi-home run game, so that's what he has to strive for as this game moves on. Johnson today has no official at-bats. He has walked twice, and he has popped one to left for a sac fly. By the way, they have gone final in Detroit, so the first half of the extra game puzzle is complete. Detroit defeated the White Sox 5-3. The Twins are beating up on the Royals now 7-1. And that game has gone to the 5th inning. So there's good chance there's going to be a playoff on Tuesday at the Metrodome. Jim Leyland's probably thinking, you know, I didn't have to do this in Pittsburgh, but now for the second time as the Detroit Tigers manager, I'm going to have to bite my nails for my team to get into the postseason.
Well, and that's when you look back and think you win one more game somewhere along the way, especially lately for them. But anywhere you win a game, and that's why in the course of a long season, when you lose a game once in a while, you kind of give it away. You think, oh, they may come back and haunt you. And you hope it doesn't, but in this case, it has.
3-2 the count to Nick Johnson. And Johnson stays alive.
They had that happen to them a couple of years ago on the last day of the season when they wound up, instead of winning the division, they were the wild card.
Yep.
And they had to go to New York, and they beat them.
They went to the World Series.
Went to the World
year.
Series. Everybody thought, uh-oh, that's it for them. Now they got to go to Yankee Stadium instead of being home. So you never know. You know, all you can try to do is play well enough to be one of the 8 teams standing at the end of the year. Four in each league, and then you go from there, and you got a shot.
That was also the year that the Cardinals, who had won less than 90 games, 86 games, I think it was, went to the World Series and won it.
Right. I mean, everybody will have their predictions and this, that, and the other thing, and then you'll start to play on Wednesday and find out.
Inside, and Johnson's walked for the third time today. So he starts the 7th with a leadoff walk. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Nobody out, runner on first. Wes Helms is the batter. Helms is 1 for 3. He singled home a couple runs his last time up. And that one's hit at the knees for a strike. Marlins is thinking that they have something to play for today as well. They would like to finish in second place in the East. The Braves are playing the Nationals right now. That one's 1-1 in the 9th inning. And right now the Marlins lead the Braves by 1 game in the division. And there are the standings in the East. So if the Marlins win today, they'll finish a game ahead of Atlanta. Or if the Braves lose today.
I think there's a little financial reward for that too. I don't remember exactly how they split up the pool, but I believe that if you finish second, we'll have to check on that. It's better than finishing third. Let's put it that way. It's not like it's a huge incentive, but no. A little extra, nothing wrong with that.
The way the Braves have played in September, I didn't think that they were going to be battling the Marlins for second. I thought, you know, they would have it. There's Jack Tashner loosening up in the Phillies bullpen. He has been battling a back problem and hasn't pitched in quite some time.
Well, I think the air went out of the Braves balloon when they lost those games in Florida. They were hot. You could tell they thought they were not going to lose a game the rest of the year with their great pitching, clutch hitting, good bullpen, and they were playing teams they felt they could beat at the end of the year, especially when they had the 4 with Washington at home. But since they lost those 2 games to Florida, they lost 5 in a row, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been scuffling. 5 in a row coming into today. They had won 5 straight before that loss.
15 out of 17 or 16 out of 18, something like that. Well, that's what a baseball's made of.
String, and then there's a
lot of yarn.
Yep. Hardcore center. And Helms is down on strikes, 1 away here in the 7th inning. Now, the Majestic Clubhouse Store is your one-stop shop for all the latest and official Phillies merchandise. It's located next to the third base gate at Citizens Bank Park. In addition to during the Phillies home games, the store is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. and features a variety of Phillies apparel, caps, novelties, DVDs, and everything Fanatic. Make the Majestic Clubhouse store your official home for Phillies merchandise. There's one and there's two. A 5-4-3 double play, and the 7th inning has come to a close. So Escalona does a nice job discarding that leadoff walk. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Marlins lead it by 1. Here at Citizens Bank Park for the Phillies Television Network, and he did a great job with God Bless America in between innings. We didn't even know he was going to be here to sing God Bless America. He just was out there in front of a microphone, Wheels,
did a great
with his
job.
Tug McGraw jersey on.
I got to be honest, I heard him rehearse earlier today, and I thought, wow, he's terrific. You know, that's going to be a good job.
Well, it was fantastic. Josh is a great kid.
Yep.
A student at Temple University.
Where was he? In Pittsburgh this year, wasn't he? On the road with his buddies.
He was in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
We had him, or Washington
as well.
Places, yeah.
He is a big Phillies fan, and well, you just never know.
And I'm going to look up someday and working before the game on a Sunday and hear you down there rehearsing.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? That's not happening?
I don't think so.
All right. Thought I'd throw that out there.
No.
I figure you would have had to overpower 4 or 5 security guards for the microphone for that. But
yeah, I don't think so. 0-2 the count to Eric Bruntlett, and he's down on strikes. He sees 3 pitches from Burke Badenhop.
It's a little tough to see out there right now.
Now it's time now for our Dodge. Wait a minute, hold on, everybody. This is the final one of the year.
I got it, too. I wrote it down.
It's time now for the Dodge Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz. Answer. Wheels, you've been pretty good this season. I mean, pretty good.
Not bad.
Which 4 Phillies have won the National League Championship Series MVP award?
Can I drag this out a little?
Yeah, if you want to.
In 1980 was Manny Trio. 1983, of course, it was the Sarge. In 93, that to me was a tough one. I had to think back, and I'm going to go with Kurt Schilling. And of course, Cole Hamels last year.
You would be correct, 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 and correct. Nice going.
Thanks.
Log back on to Phillies.com. Find out if you're the winner of the Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Love that sound 4 times.
It's a shame we don't hear that buzzer anymore. Okay, thank you.
You know, I heard that enough.
1-2 the count to Paul Bacco.
Raul Ibanez out there to pinch it. The Phillies do have a pretty good bench today.
See what kind of reaction Raul's going to get when he comes up to the plate.
Shane Victorino got a tremendous reaction when he came up.
He really did. Bacco is fly to left, and he's also flat out to Maben in center. And there's ball 3.
The shadows are out at the mound right now, so it's getting a little tougher to see for a while.
Towards shortstop. Bonifacio retires Bacco. 2 away. Let's hear the reaction for Raul Ibanez. Z-patch for the first time today. Oh, nice reaction from the crowd. He's had himself a heck of a year in his first year in a Phillies uniform. 34 home runs, 93 runs batted in, and a .273 average. Those 34 home runs, that's a career high for Raul. You would think he's going to have some butterflies come Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's 5-4 right now here on the Sunday afternoon. And if the Phillies wind up playing the 3 o'clock game around that time, we're not sure which. This is kind of the setting you're going to have at the end of, let's say, the 3rd or even the beginning of the 4th inning. Burke Badenhop has liked this setting. He's faced 6. He's retired all 6. We go to the 8th. Dealer and see how good the best values in America can be. Oh, we have played 7. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and Jack Tashner is the new pitcher for the Phillies. And Tashner will face Ronnie Paulino, Brett Carroll, and Emilio Bonifacio. Those are the three batters due up for Florida, with the Marlins leading it by 1, 6-5. So we're down to the final 2 innings here in the regular season. Wheels, we were talking before about our favorite moments this year, and Sarge talked about the triple play that Eric Bruntlett turned, and I was talking about that 10-run inning back in July against the Cincinnati Reds. There's so many walk-off victories for the Phillies this year. Do you have one that stands out? And there's Paulino. Hits one foul toward the Hall of Fame club. And it's 0-1.
I'm getting prompted, but I won't go.
It would be great, though, if you said the book signing from yesterday.
that was fun. I gotta think,
What about in the clubhouse? The champagne?
No, that's not a favorite.
What are you talking about?
That's
everybody in Delaware Valley like that.
Everybody. That, you know what? It's funny how people enjoy watching other people's misery.
Yeah. I think everybody wanted to be in your shoes.
Well, they can have them. They're still drying out. That was a great celebration. That was a lot of fun. No doubt about it. Those guys did have a good time, and they deserved it. He was one of the guys that I got talked to first, and I think Ryan decided that he was going to start spraying early.
There's a bouncer toward third, and Jack Tasher is going to retire the first 2 batters that he faces here in the 8th inning. Well, Wheels, while you think about that, one of the guys that can look up your favorite moment, John Haas, one of our tape operators. Most memorable game, Mitchie Pooh's game-winning RBI. It's everybody's most memorable game because they were still awake to watch it.
That was a long day, night. Well, not day. Well, yeah, I get home, it was daylight.
Yeah. Well, John does such a great job throughout the course of this year. Jen Roman has done such a great job. In fact, John just can't get any of those tapes out, Jen, since you departed the control room earlier this season. So you need to get back so he can help him get those tapes out of those machines, because it's a mess over there. They do some great work just making sure that the archives are refreshed, and we have everything that we need at our disposal when we talk about favorite plays without letting anybody know what those favorite plays are before we get on the air. And they find them, and they are there for us to take a look at.
Great library of stuff, and you bring something up and wham, there it is.
1-2 the count to Emilio Bonifacio. Slow roller towards shortstop. This could be a tough play. Bruntlett charges, throws off balance, and Bonifacio is safe. So that's an infield single. And Ross Glode will get one more pinch hit opportunity this year. He's been the best in the major leagues. He has 20 pinch hits this year. And he's got a chance with Bonifacio on first now to extend this inning for the Marlins. They lead it by 1, 6-5. Look at that, 20 for 65 as a pinch hitter. He's having the kind of year this year that Greg Dobbs had last year for the Phillies.
Yeah, he was a nice pickup for them.
One ball, one strike to count to him. Off the hands. That's the 21st pinch hit of the season for Ross Glode. Bonifacio goes to second base, and the Marlins have runners on first and second with 2 outs. That wasn't a bad pitch. He tied him up and he just looped it into left field.
That's why he's such a good hitter. Guys who can do those kind of things. They just tossed that ball in the dugout, too, for him. Here's a look at it, and he fights it off. Could hear the Marlins broadcasters next door getting pretty excited about that, too. So that's some kind of milestone for him. Check it out. And they threw that ball in the dugout.
Coughlin the opposite way on the run is Stairs into the shade, makes the grab, and the inning is over. So Jack Tasker allows 2 base runners. He strands 2. We head to the bottom of the 8th at 6-5 Marlins. To be a 2010 Phillies ball girl. Well, here are the qualifications. You have to be experienced softball players. You have to have excellent communication skills, an outgoing personality, and a flexible schedule. Send your resume and 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball skills and why you'd be a great addition to the Phillies ball girl team. The Philadelphia Phillies, attention ball girl applicant, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. And the submissions are due by the 16th of October. And you can join Christy Oakes or Sam Arnone as members of the Phillies ball girl team. And they have done a fantastic job all year long. Not only here at the ballpark, which you see as fans, but also out in the community. I mean, they've done a great job supporting all the Phillies endeavors out in the community. Kiko Calero's had a good year. He'll finish things up with his 67th game. 2-2 with a 1.83 ERA. And he will face Miguel Cairo to lead things off. Cairo's 1 for 3. By the way, that hit by Glode, there was no individual record that he reached. He already had the club record with 20 pinch hits before that one. He now has 21. But he and Wes Helms have combined for 38 pinch hits. And they are the first duo to collect that many pinch hits since Ed Coleman and Roy Pepper did it for the 1936 Browns. St. Louis Browns.
Right. Later to become the Baltimore Orioles.
Chopper hits slowly toward third. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cairo. That pitch is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies need a base runner here. They trail it by just 1. It's kind of the same scenario as yesterday. It wasn't a 1-run game, but it was a close game. Toward right center field. Carroll on the run, and he can't get there. It's past him and rolling to the scoreboard. Cairo's around second. He's thinking about 3. Here's the throw by Ugla. Not in time. It gets away into the dugout. He'll score. And the Phillies have tied this game up at 6 apiece. Jimmy Rollins and the rest of the Phillies are chuckling, not only because Cairo had one of those old-time AT&T home runs where the little kid calls the grandfather and says, "Grandpa, I ran all the way," but also because Jason Worth is in the on-deck circle, and it would have been an RBI opportunity for him.
He would have had a chance if Greg Dobbs didn't get him. And here it is. Kind of surprised he went for it there, but it took a crazy hop there. Maven had to go get it. Now he comes up and made a very good relay to Dan Ugla, but when Ugla threw it, he hit that one spot in the dugout that's open, and it went right through there. Obviously, you get the score on that play.
So Dobbs rolls one to first, and the bases will be empty for Jason Worth here in the 8th inning. Look at these guys.
Look at Jason. Hey, he can still get an RBI.
Yes, he can.
They're laughing about it. Cairo. Well, Cairo's done a nice job.
You don't think these fans don't know?
They know. You got it. There's a way to get an RBI.
Yes, there is. He is one RBI away from 100.
Gets you thinking that, this is not supposed to be an individual game. But in this case, they probably wouldn't mind if they tried to back leg here.
Yeah. They've done so much from a team game standpoint that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Try to do something for the individual good because it'll help the team too.
Sure.
0-2 the count.
Well, he knows he's going to have to hit a slider.
And he lays off, so it's 1-2.
And that's what Calero is going to throw.
She's hoping for him. And he's down on strikes. So 2 away. Nice response for the fans behind the Phillies dugout. So Jason is the second out here in the 8th inning. It's a 6-6 game. And here's Matt Stairs, 0 for 3. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Stairs pops it way up there. Helms is calling for it and shading at the same time, and the inning is over. But the Phillies do get a run. It's a triple for Miguel Cairo. He scores on an error. It's a 6-6 game. Mike Missinelli break it all down for you on a road to the repeat. Charlie's thoughts, fans' questions, the pitching rotation. It's all part of my PHL's primetime preview Tuesday at 9. Well, John Mayberry Jr. is going to be the new left fielder for the Phillies. So Matt Stairs' night is done, or day is done, I should say, as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And Scott Air will come out and will pitch here in the top of the 9th inning in a 6-6 game. And if I understood Dan Baker correctly, Mayberry will bat 9th, and Air will bat in Matt Stairs' spot, which is the 4th spot in the order.
Right, they flipped them.
So here's Air, 42nd game, 2-1, a 1.55 earned run average. And he delivers a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. To the count. Maybe today is 1 for 4. He had a double and a run scored his first time up. He struck out in the 3rd. He grounded out and he flied out to center. Trying to check his swing. No appeal. No swings, says Mike Everett. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Maven. Matt Lindstrom's up and listening in the bullpen for the Marlins, so we'll probably see him in the bottom of the 9th inning. Brad Lidge, meanwhile, is throwing. I'm sorry, no, Chad Durbin is throwing in the Phillies bullpen. There's Lindstrom.
He'll be a lot of laughs to hit off in these shadows. Throwing 100 mile an hour, 98.
Yeah, but maybe he'll have trouble throwing for strikes.
Could be.
There's Durbin. Two and two the count to Maven.
It'll be interesting to see who the Rockies started today. It looks like 21. That's Marquis, isn't it?
Jason Marquis. He was scheduled to start.
Right. He thought, you know, the way they're going, if De La Rosa did in fact get hurt last night, they could pitch Aaron Cook in the 2nd game. He's coming off a real strong start after coming back from some
He pitched
injury.
Thursday for them, because Jimenez pitched on Friday, and they already said he was going to be the game 1 starter.
Well, he has to be their #1 guy. He's one of the best in baseball.
They were probably thinking that it would be great to have Franklin Morales stretched out, because look what he did in the postseason against the Phillies in 07.
He's done such a good job at the end of games for them, especially when Houston Street was down. They're a formidable opponent. They're as hot as any team in this league.
And a call, strike 3. Maven rung up for out number 1. So 1 away here at the top of the 9th inning. Well, earlier today there was a foul ball that rolled over toward the first base dugout that Andy Rabel, who's our first base camera operator, made a very nice play on. Andy has that ball, I believe. No, he doesn't.
Everybody wants a mic.
Everybody wants a mic. Well, Andy, his most memorable game was that 2007 division clincher. I have known Andy Rabel, Wheels, since I was in college, which is 20 years. In fact, Andy was one of the first guys to give me a break in this business with Store Cable in Hightstown, New Jersey. How about that?
That's kind of a mentor.
Yeah, well, he's a few years older and was already in the business as John Mayberry gallops in to make that grab. And there's 2 away.
Everybody needs doors open.
Yeah. There's Andy.
Look what you did, Andy.
And there's Andy's shot. He's got a good look at Scott Air on the mound. So Scott has 2 away. And here's Wes Helms.
They love him, don't they?
Helms is 1 for 4. He has grounded out. He has struck out. He's singled home 2. And he's popped out. And he takes a strike. 0-1 the count. 1-2 the count. Scott Ayers got a little giddy up on his fastball today. So 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 6-6 game.
One thing he really would like is to be able to control his pitches, and today he's doing a really good job with that with these 3 hitters. You know, that's a pitch he doesn't mind throwing there. He's got 2 strikes on a hitter. Bounce a breaking ball, see if they'll chase the way the Maben did.
One and 2 the count to Helms. And that one's a foul ball off to the first base side, and it remains 1 and 2. Phillies in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Ben Francisco, Andy Tracy, and Eric Bruntlett due up.
Still have Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins on the bench.
Yeah, they do.
And Chase Utley.
Pedro Feliz.
We get a few pinch hitters available.
Carlos Ruiz.
And get
He's got a bat.
Yeah. Never know. They have a few guys who can knock in a run.
That's a pretty good pitch. A little outside.
A backdoor slider there. Not a Wes Helms fan or the Paul Emmel. And it's just outside.
Just a little bit. Yeah. 2 and 2 the count. 3 and 2. Dan Uggla waits on deck. Maybe his final day in a Marlins uniform. Boy, it's a good thing the Brewers or the Cardinals aren't playing for anything this weekend. Brewers are beating them again.
Yeah, Brewers went in there and got serious. Division rival, and they got after the Cardinals.
And ball 4. So Helms was behind 0-2, and he walks with 2 outs. So 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Dan Uggla is the batter, and the Ramirez doing some manicure in the dugout. And Wheels, come up with your favorite play?
Yeah. Phillies are really scuffling early in the season and lost 2 out of 3 to Milwaukee. Went down to Florida. Josh Johnson buried them for 7 innings, 8 innings, 7 innings. And then in the 9th inning, they had that big comeback highlighted by Shanes. And I think that got him going a little bit because, you know, all the things have been going on early in the season, been well documented. And, you know, they're just, it was kind of a malaise.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that won anything for them this year, but I really think that really helped when Shane hit that grand slam that night and in the middle of that big inning, and it got them going a little bit.
Want to know the count to Dan Uggla. And he hits one in the air to left field. Not that deep. It's playable for John Mayberry. And the top of the 9th is over with. The Phillies will head to the bottom of the 9th inning with a chance to win this one. It's a 6-6 game, and yes, they are still #1. And there's been some exciting plays today, including our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Miguel Cairo hit a home run off Josh Johnson earlier in the game, and now he triples into the gap in right center. A diving play by Brett Carroll gets by him, and then Dan Uggla's throw gets by Wes Helms, backed up by Calero. He couldn't get there, went into the Marlins dugout. Miguel circles the bases twice. Count them twice in one game. That's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
So now as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, Reniel Pinto is the new pitcher for the Florida Marlins. And this bright sunshiny afternoon is turning into a cool late afternoon finish here in Philadelphia. It is a gorgeous day today. And Reniel Pinto is 73rd game, ERA of 3.28. He's 4-1 this season. On a fan appreciation day, everybody's in a really good mood as the playoffs are upon us. And here's Ben Francisco. Francisco's 1 for 2. He's walked and singled home a run. He has struck out. And he hits one toward left field, a base hit. The winning run is aboard.
They elected to guard the line there with Wes Helms, the third baseman. I don't know if he even saw that ball, but if he'd have been in his regular position, he catches that. So that's what you know, that's a risk you take. It's not a risk. It's a good play for the most part. You're just trying to stay away from an extra base hit there. See where he's playing and where that ball's hit? Now, I don't know that he could catch it, but if he's all the way back, he could maybe go to his left and catch that line drive. When you would bunt with Tracy in front of Bruntley, it's so hard to do. It's like doing a spring training game. You say there's with strategy, who knows?
Francisco has tried 2 steals today. He's beat both of the throws, but he has slid past the second base bag twice.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Tracy tripled earlier in the game. He's 1 for 3.
They're playing no doubles defense in the outfield to prevent an extra base hit from winning the game. See how deep the 3 outfielders are. Charlie has to be careful about hitting for guys here too, because you like to win the game, but if you're going to extra innings, you don't want to use those regulars in extra innings, because the idea is not to play them today. And that's why you're letting Tracy go left here with Pinto.
And it's no balls at 2 strikes now.
Now that he used Mayberry in the double switch, you've got Feliz and Hoover are the only extra men who aren't regulars. Not Feliz, I mean just Hoover, who aren't regular players. So, you know, you defeat your purpose of resting these guys if you make moves now and then go in extra innings. I'm not saying he might not take a shot if he gets somebody in scoring position.
We could always use, let's say, Jimmy to pinch hit for Bruntlett.
Sure.
And then let Feliz, although he's a regular, go into play.
Yeah, there's some things you could do, but they want to stay away from using those guys if they can avoid it.
0-2 the count to Tracy. And he chops one toward first foul. And it remains no balls at 2 strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Prince Fielder, a home run and 2 RBIs. And the Brewers lead the Cardinals 6-1. That game's in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Ryan Howard came into play today with 141 RBIs. He has 1 more than Prince. And a called strike 3. So Tracy's down on strikes. And that will bring Eric Bruntlett to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored.
Pedro Feliz is coming out to hit for Baco.
So maybe the thought is there that he'll hit for Baco and then Hoover will come in to catch.
Well, I think more than anything, Charlie was hoping by leaving Tracy in there against Pinto that maybe he could just hook one in the hole.
Yeah.
For the outfielders so deep and get a first and third out of it with a left-handed hitter. Even though he knew it was a, got a feeling, even though he knew it was a tough matchup for him. Now with an out already, maybe potential of two, they're going to hit for Baco.
No one's hit for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies today could win their 93rd game of the year. And now they're 92 and 69. It's been a heck of a year and a heck of a run for Charlie Manuel and his team, winning their 3rd consecutive National League East title. Charlie's team won 92 last year as Bruntlett fists one towards center. That's going to drop in front of Maben. And the Phillies now with runners on first and second with one away.
They're trying to do a couple things here to prevent a team from winning, and both of them have cost them base runners. Talked about how deep the outfielders were. Well, that's to prevent an extra base hit. So as a result, that ball's going to dunk right in front of Maben, and the inning started by guarding the line at third and a ball going through. But that's good baseball. It's just one of those things when it happens to you. Now we mentioned how deep Maben is. See where he is out here? He's playing a no doubles defense. So now when the ball lands in here, that's the whole idea. You're trying to keep everything in front of you and make 2 or 3 hits beat you.
Now 1 hit here.
Now they move in, of course.
Should be able to do it, but we'll see where they align the outfield. Maben's still deep though in center. I mean, he's not really shallow.
But they have to move. They have to bring it in a little more because the run scores from second, the game's over. It's different before that. See there, he's in a lot more than he was before.
Pedro Feliz pinch hitting. And Pedro pops the first pitch foul. He got a good pitch to hit there. And the count is 0-1. Pedro Feliz with 82 runs batted in. 12 homers, a .266 average. He's had a good year. And he's been the Phillies' best hitter with runners in scoring position. There goes Francisco. The throw to third is. C.B. Buckner just called him out. I thought he got his foot in there.
I did too.
That's the 3rd time that Francisco's been thrown out trying to steal. I really thought he got his foot in there.
It's a close play. From our angle, it did look like he had tagged him high and his foot went in.
No, I don't know. That one's, it's tough to tell if Helms, this should give us a good look. Yeah, he got him. His foot popped up, it looks like. So now 2 outs with a runner in scoring position. Paulino's been busy back there today. He has thrown Francisco out 3 times. Twice he's thrown him out because Francisco slid past a bag. That was the second base bag. Well, there he looked like he had a decent jump too.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make it. That was a good play by Paulino. He had a good pitch to throw on too, and he got him. Quick tag by Helms.
Well, now it's 2-2 to Pedro Feliz. I've never been thrown out 3 times in a game.
Remember Bob Boone getting thrown out 3 times in a game one night with the Phillies, and none of them were at first. Second, third, and home. That's tough to do. Booney really knew how to run the bases with his mind, but his legs wouldn't get him there a lot of times.
Well, that happens. And Pedro is down on strike. So we're going to go extra innings. Why not some free baseball on the final day of the regular season? Phillies and the Marlins tied at 6. or 2 extra inning games, excuse me, back-to-back against the Dodgers and the Washington Nationals. And look at that. Phillies are 10-5 in extra inning ball games this year. And the Florida Marlins are 7-6. So Phillies with 10 wins in extra inning games. Paul Hoover comes in. He's the new catcher for the Phillies. They're in the top of the 10th inning. And Chad Durbin is the new pitcher. Durbin in his 59th game. He is 1-2 with a 4.46 earned run average. And he'll pitch here in the top of the 10th against Ronnie Paulino, Brett Carroll, and Emilio Bonifacio. So extra innings here in Philadelphia. Phil's trying to pick up their 93rd win of the year. They already know that they're playing the Colorado Rockies on Wednesday. There have been different reports about the start time for that game on Wednesday, but I think a lot of it will be, will be dictated when the Yankees decide if they're going to take the Wednesday or Thursday game in the opening round, because they have that right. They can pick and choose when they want to start the playoffs, either Wednesday or Thursday. Here's Ronnie Paulino, who leads things off, and he takes a pitch high. It's 1-0.
Is that because of best record?
Best record. I think the American League has one game that starts one day, and the next one starts on Thursday. So the team with the best record can choose which day they want to go. Ronnie Paulino's got a base hit to start this 10th inning. It's his second hit of the day. So he's bored, and Brett Carroll will bat. Carroll today is 0 for 4. He's grounded out twice. He has struck out, and he's flied out to left field. Chad Durbin's pitched well lately. In fact, over his last 10 appearances, as Carroll tried to bunt that one, he bunts it foul, and he nearly took that one right in the head.
Well, a lot of times pitchers will try and throw a high fastball when a guy's going to bunt to make it tougher to get it down fair, and that one was kind of running in on him a little bit. Whoa. That's why I don't like to bunt.
Maybe if I fall back like this, my manager won't make me do it again.
Let me swing away. Nope.
No, he's squaring again.
Oh, that one almost hit him, and it did.
And he's saying it hit his fingers.
But he's trying to bunt it. Now, that'll be the decision that they're going to have to make down there. Was he bunting at that, and it hit him?
Oh, he definitely was.
Then it's a strike. He's really awkward trying to bunt with these pitches running in at him like that.
No, it's no balls and 2 strikes now. The count to Carroll.
Let's see, does he bunt at this? Sure did.
He had no choice but to bunt at it. Freddie Gonzalez is saying that he pulled the bat back, and Paul Emmel saying,
Nope. Let's see, did he? Well, he tried to pull it. That's a
try to pull it back, but he was still squared.
Yeah, the intent, there has to be intent. The umpire has to determine, was there intent to bunt at the ball? And that is really close. Whether there was intent or whether he was just starting to pull it back.
0-2 the count.
I think he might take it off.
He hits it to straightaway center field and right at Ben Francisco. And 1 out here in the 10th inning. Back to first goes Ronnie Paulino. And that'll bring Emilio Bonifacio to the plate. Bonifacio is 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored.
That had to hurt. And you can see his hand is still bothering him, that left hand. That pitch hit him. Whether Brett Carroll, if this game continues, well, it's going to continue, whether Brett Carroll can go out there or not.
Well, the trainer went back to the clubhouse with him.
They probably want to go take a look at it.
So Bonifacio stands in with a runner on first. And he pulls that one. Nice play by Tracy to second for 1. And he is so tough to double up. But it's a good job by Andy Tracy to get that lead runner. Maybe if he stepped on first and threw to second, he had a chance to pull off the double play. But the decision was so quick to make sure he got the lead runner.
Well, you're right, Tom. You know, and with the catcher running like that, Paulino, he may have had a chance to do that, but she said that all happened so fast. He's thinking in the extra inning game, I want to keep the winning run away from second. The only problem is you allowed a guy to get on base who can make a double out of it real fast, or get to second real fast, and that's Bonifacio.
John Baker's going to pinch hit for the Marlins. He's had a good year, 272, 9 homers and 50 runs batted in. He has 101 hits on the season. Bonifacio, I don't even think he even saw Chad Durbin. The sun's in his eyes a little bit because it's in Andy Tracy's eyes too. But the sunglasses are on top of the cap. Ooh, good quick tag.
Yeah, there's that tag. A little tougher for a first baseman who's a right-handed thrower to get that glove down. That's why a left-handed first baseman get the tag down real quick.
And quickly it's 0-1 to Baker. Difference in the splits for John Baker, which is why Paulino catches most times against left-handed pitching. Another throw over. Bonifacio's lead is not a big one. That one's down low, 2-1. Little looper to the right side. Cairo is there, and the inning is over. So Durbin strands one. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. The Phils and the Marlins still tied at 6. Playoffs Tuesday night at 9. John Clark and Mike Missinelli bring it all down for you on the road to the repeat. Charlie's thoughts, fans' questions, the pitching rotation. It's all part of MyPHL's primetime preview Tuesday at 9. Bottom of the 10th inning. Phillies and the Marlins tied at 6. 9-1-2 are due up for the Phillies, and they'll face South Jersey native Dan Meyer in his 71st game. He's 3-1 with a 2.97 ERA. And he will face John Mayberry, Miguel Cairo, and Greg Dobbs. Meyer's had a good year as well. Boy, the bullpen for the Marlins, they've had, at times struggles with their closer and who it is. Leo Nunez has handled that for a good part of the second half of the season. But Meyer, Colaro, Pinto, these guys have been pretty good for Freddie Gonzalez. Maybe this will be the game-winning shot on the final day of the regular season. John Mayberry batting for the first time, hitting 196 here in the big leagues with 4 homers and 8 runs batted in. And he swings and fouls the first pitch off, and the count is 0-1.
The Marlins, of course, are doing the same thing here in the 10th as they did in the 9th. They have Helms over on the line, and the outfielders real deep. And Phillies did get a couple base runners on account of that, but not able to score a run. Freddie Gonzalez, their manager.
Toward third, a base hit for John Mayberry. And again, with Helms playing over toward the line, he leaves the hole wide open for Mayberry. So a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Most teams are going to do that, especially with a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed hitter up there. You see Freddie looking out like, I know I'm doing the right thing. I got to play over there and prevent a double. But why do they have to find a hole twice? And there it is. That's a routine out early in the ballgame. You see where Helms is playing over, all the way over there, and then the ball goes into that area. And that's a late inning type of thing that can happen in a game.
So here's Miguel Cairo, who has a triple, a home run. He's also grounded out and flied out to right. So 2 for 4.
Now they're going to think about a bunt here, are the Marlins, just in case. Wes Helms is shortening at third, and so's Nick Johnson ready to charge from first. And then they just do that to take a peek in to see whether or not Cairo shows anything, and he did not.
Cairo bunts that one in front of the plate. Paulino thought about second. His only play is to first. I thought that hit him.
He was getting out of the way of it. The thing was snaking around down there, and it looked like Miguel was trying to avoid it. He had himself a little spinning top there in front of home plate. Here's the bunt. Bunts it down there, and it's spinning all over the place. He takes a good look at it to make sure he doesn't run into it. Paulino had no play at second. Yeah, they're going to play this with the base open, left. They may just stay after Dobbs, and they will.
Jason Worth is due up next.
That would be a heck of a story.
Oh man, would it ever?
Freddie might take the bat out of his hands though if they get Dobbs out.
And Dobbs fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1.
That would be the thing to do.
Mason getting himself ready. Shin guard on that left leg. And that's over for strike 2. No, 0-2 the count now to Dobbs. Here's Chase Utley getting some batting gloves on. Pitcher spot is due up after Jason Worth. Might be appropriate for the Phillies to pull this one out here in extra innings, since they have won so many games this year. when they were behind in the ball game. And Dobbs the opposite way, a foul ball. By the way, I mentioned the pitcher spot was dope after Worth. That's Hoover's spot now. Pitcher spot is the number 8 hole with a double switch with Durbin. But Chase is still looking like he's getting himself ready. 1-2 the count. And he's down on strikes. 2 away.
Now Freddie Gonzalez, he wants to win this game. I'm sure he's going to walk him and make Hoover beat him. And then already Paulino's in front of home plate with the 4 fingers up. The fans haven't noticed it yet, but they will shortly.
Cover your ears, Freddie.
Now it's starting to dawn on him. Why that catcher squatting now? Oops, that's what it is. Oh, man. You got to be kidding me. It was funnier the last day of the season, huh? And there is money involved in second place. They want to finish second. And Myers throwing that way outside, so Jason Worth has no chance to take a hack at it. Step across home plate, make contact, you're out. Ryan Howard. What?
Man's just being denied the chance to get 100 RBIs.
It's nothing personal. He wants to win the game. You know, there's all this talk swirling around whether he's coming back next
That's
year.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So what's he going to do? Just give a game up here at the end? No way.
There's a report that came out earlier today that the Marlins might be interested in Bobby Valentine. And I don't know how you take the guy that is now your all-time winningest manager.
Really?
And even his coaching staff, and ask them to take a walk.
You know, far be it from us to run somebody else's organization, but that would be surprising.
Yeah. Well, Paul Hoover, who is 2 for 3, the former Marlin, is up here with the winning run on second here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Phillies and the Marlins tied at 6. And Hoover takes one upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Paul Hoover took over behind the plate in the top of the 10th inning after Paul Bacco was pinch hit for in the bottom of the 9th inning. February's got a short lead off second, and that's on the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Phillies in each of the last 3 innings have gotten the leadoff batter aboard and scored in the 8th, didn't score in the 9th. And they've got a runner at second base, a runner at first here in the 10th. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Hoover.
Hard to run out of players for both teams today, but they're working on it.
Well, around baseball, there are some finals already today.
But down in Atlanta,
I was going to say the Nationals and the Braves are into the 13th inning.
You know, here you're playing extra innings thinking, oh no, the last day, but they're in 13. They played 11 or 12 yesterday.
Outside and high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the American League, Detroit and Minnesota are heading toward a playoff this Tuesday to decide who will win the American League Central. As Minnesota's beaten up on Kansas City and Detroit has defeated Chicago. Then Francisco on deck. Maybe he's going to be the hero today. And Hoover fouls it off. It remains 2-2.
Todd Mayberry runs pretty well. And with 2 outs, he's got a chance to win the game or score the winning run if Paul can get a base hit here.
Inside 3-2, and now the runners will be off.
They have a real chance.
Yep.
Score the winning run.
Mayberry's on first. Worth is on, or excuse me, Mayberry's on second. Worth is on first. Jason does not matter right now. The only guy that matters is that guy on second. And the guy at the plate, of course, Paul Hoover. So he tries to knock in the winning run. Runners go, and the pitch is fouled. He just got a piece of it. They go again, and that one is lined off the glove of Helms. Rounding third is Mayberry. The Phillies are going to win the final game of the regular season, and they do so in 10 innings. Paul Hoover with the RBI single to bring home John Mayberry. It's a 93-win year for the Phillies. Well, good for Paul Hoover. On a day when the only regular to start was Jason Worth, the bench players come through, and Paul Hoover is our Chevrolet player of the game. I don't think it matters how many Major League at-bats you've had. On any level, the game-winning hit, that has got to feel unbelievable.
Yeah, that's nice for him. Here he is, kind of a humpback liner, too. Myers pitch, fastball. You see he hits it off the end of the bat a little bit. Now, Wes Helms, of course, is not on the line at this point. That line on and off the line really got to them finally. Where he should be with 2 outs. And he just can't quite get it. And then he deflects it enough that with Mayberry running, he can score easily. If he had, with less than 2 outs, he's not going to be able to score because he would have frozen on that line drive. But he's able to run on it.
Another come from behind victory for the Phillies. John Mayberry off and running. Oh, he knows right there that he can glide home, and he does. That's a nice way to finish the regular season. And for the fans, it's even nicer when the players come out and throw these softballs autographed by the players into the crowd as a show of thanks and appreciation all around the field. Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, Brad Lidge trying to find the upper deck. Victorino saying goodbye to Brian Sanchez. There's Ryan Howard, who had today off. He'll finish the year, well, at least at this point, as the RBI leader in the National League. Prince Fielder is 1 behind Ryan Howard. Shane Victorino and Chase Utley each with 100 runs scored this year. Jimmy Rollins played some of the best baseball in the National League since the second half. That's right. Bring on the Rockies. So the Phillies win it by a final of 7-6 here in the 10th inning. A base hit by Paul Hoover. We'll be back after these messages. Don't forget the plays of the year coming up.